Welcome to Hitting the Ropes Wrestling Podcast. Cheap computer text-to-speech intros sold separately.
Welcome to Hitting the Ropes Wrestling Podcast, Episode 3. This episode we're going to be talking about this week's Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and we just literally, as we're recording this, got done with watching Fight for the Fallen. It's about 12:40 in the morning here in Rhode Island, and you know what? We figured we'll actually get together instead of being on Skype this time and get together for the weekend, and here we are. We got some Shandy, some White Claws. And Matt is here, of course, as always. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. Alex, how are you?
Let me swallow this Shandy real quick. I'm doing great. And then we also have our special guest tonight, our buddy Collin, all the way from New York. Collin, how you doing? Tell the people.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me.
Cool,
and
cool.
Listen to you guys. Awesome.
Awesome. Right on, man. Thank you so much. Well, I guess we'll start off right away. Matt, if you want to get us started with Raw this week, what was your takeaway from Raw as soon as it started?
You know, going into Raw after that week of Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman, and it was a really good Raw. I think I'm seeing what my grade on Raw was the previous week. It was a strong Raw. I gave it a B, which I think is good for television. That happens all the time.
Yeah,
but it definitely fell short of my expectations after a really, really good week of what they gave us previously.
Now, would you say it was bad or just boring, or what would be your overall take of it?
I would say both.
Yeah.
I would definitely think it was uneventful. It was stale, and surprisingly stale from a crowd of Newark, New Jersey, which
Definitely sprinkle in some New York.
Yeah, anywhere that has the influence of New Yorkers in that tri-state area is significantly bigger crowd and more reactive, and it was a huge letdown to me, at least.
It's funny because you hear the best crowds that I've seen on TV have definitely been New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. And we were watching the highlights earlier yesterday, and it seemed like the crowd was just not into anything. I mean, I wouldn't say it was Lafayette bad, but it was pretty dead from what I could hear and take away from it in the highlights. So
I agree, and it's just this thing that WWE does. Sometimes you get a really good product from them, and then the next week it's just really shitty, and it's like the creative just has no idea where to go next. And
I think that's what a big problem was with this past week's episode is how can you go from the Braun Strowman, the Bobby Lashley, that old school creative that we saw to basically falling flat this week. You wanted to expect that again. You get Bobby Lashley out there with Rey Mysterio. Oh, they're going to do it again. And you're going to start to see that new creative come in, and unfortunately, it was a little bit of a letdown in my eyes.
yeah, I mean, we saw the new creative last week when we had Heyman kind of sprinkled all over the place with it, and it was fresh, and there were some parts of it that you could tell he didn't have his hand in the say of it, but
yeah, and that's exactly it too. We don't know exactly how much Paul Heyman has control. We know that Eric Bischoff was headed to Stanford recently, so we don't know how much control he fully has either. And again, we don't even know how much control they're authorized to do with some of this stuff, and you do have to work with a creative team with certain things. And I just think that my overall grade for Raw on July 8th, 2019 in Newark, New Jersey was a letter grade of C. My number was a 73.25, so pretty low. And it's just after every single match, it was what's gonna happen next, and is there any way? I had no desire to watch the whole thing. I actually I probably fell asleep and had to continue it the next day because I was so tired from work. But it was a huge letdown.
Well, I mean, we started off the night with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Zelina Vega and Andrade. I mean, and from what everyone was saying, it was a pretty good match. Maybe some good spots sprinkled in. I mean, you got Seth Rollins, who's the best worker in the company right now, and Andrade, who, I mean, just look at the classics he's already had just within NXT alone. So, I mean, from what I gathered from especially the highlights, it seemed like it had a lot of, for fans like us who are like, smarks, if you want to call it that, everyone was like, oh shit, like this is going to be a hyped up match. But then it seemed like it kind of fell short of expectations, even though, maybe there was too much expectations at the same time. So, what was your guys' takeaway from it? Good match, bad match, all right?
So, I thought this was a decent match. I liked the idea of Zelina Vega doing the Hurricanrana to Seth Rollins and getting caught, and Becky Lynch doing that dropkick to her and everything. I like when Zelina Vega does her moves to male opponents, and usually it's in favor for Andrade to, it's out of nowhere, the ref's kind of distracted.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's intentional, and I like to see her in the ring more than just a manager. But I'd like to see Seth Rollins and Andrade in just a singles match.
Oh, God, yeah.
Rather than this mixed, this tag team match that is elimination somehow. So, what is the point of it anyway?
Yeah.
You might as well just have two separate matches.
I mean, just Andrade and Seth alone, I mean, yeah, they could definitely headline a Raw, but like even like a pay-per-view itself, like that would just be a good, like at least a 4.5-star match.
And that would definitely sell in itself.
Yeah,
because for me, I think the best part of the match was the ending, when they're walking out and then they get ambushed. You got Baron Corbin, you got Lacey Evans come out, and then they just start fighting on the walkway.
Yeah, well, I saw that one replay from the side shot, and it looked like Lacey Evans like fucking laid out Becky Lynch.
Clipped her so good.
Clipped her hard, yeah. All right, so what we got next? Okay, so then we had, of course, the Paul Heyman speech.
And this was surprisingly disappointing on the end of...
flat, you could say?
Yeah, just call it flat. Like, I guess you can't always get 100%.
But when you're building it up to the resume that Paul Heyman has alone, and he's saying extreme rules, I know a thing about extreme.
It was
in Philadelphia. I know something about extreme in Philadelphia. And then you're gonna drop some lame spoiler. We watched the episode where they said Brock was gonna cash in. He obviously didn't cash in.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I mean, you're setting it up for. You basically know. I could say, Brock isn't cashing in come tomorrow night.
Yeah, I feel like, it's gonna happen sometimes. I mean, we think of Paul Heyman as like, kind of like the Triple H at the same time, where it's like these like Messiah kind of figureheads. Where you're like, oh shit, like they can do nothing wrong, but you're really not gonna strike fucking oil all the time. So I watched a couple minutes of the promo today, and even I was like, okay, and just like skipped over because I was just
there's nothing monumental.
Nobody came out, nothing happened. It was kind of just okay.
It could have been the way he did it, as Seth is laying on the floor, beaten after Baron Corbin ambushed him. Then you pick the time for you to come out, Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, is Brock going to come out now while Seth is down? No.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're basically setting yourself up for it.
I just want to see Brock Lesnar troll Seth Rollins.
How so?
By coming out, attacking him, but never cashing in.
Just every single time Seth is in the ring. I would love it.
Just
I would love it.
completely fucking with him.
See, that could be a cool
Kofi,
storyline,
obviously Brock doesn't want to travel everywhere. He doesn't want to go to every single SmackDown. He doesn't want to go to every Raw. But he's going to be at every pay-per-view, and if he just shows up to those matches...
That's enough.
And then he just,
That's
he just
honestly
fucking
enough.
sits... maybe he's in the crowd with his Money in the Bank briefcase and just kind of
sitting,
staring at
maniacally watching,
tapping
on it. I love it.
Completely trolling them.
See,
and
that
it's
could
like
be
it takes them away from their match because now they're focusing on what is Brock Lesnar doing. He's going to cash in pretty soon. I need to be on my feet, and then potentially the other person might win.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
if
that could even be a cool storyline where he just comes out and trolls Seth, like you were saying, and just keeps beating him down. Like, imagine that from like a creative standpoint, where it could be like Seth, like, just fucking cash in already. Let's do this. Come on. Like that. That would be something I would look forward to. Is him just like kind of like the whole flip of the coin where Seth's just going crazy. Like, come on, just fucking cash in already.
Just breaking him down psychologically so much to the point where he doesn't know which one to focus on.
Yeah, and you can just see that, like, even just imagining it, you could just see that, like, fucking nasty grin on Brock's
because he's been there.
face.
He's been there before. He's wanted him to cash in at that moment, and that's exactly when he's not going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So what would you guys think is the next good talking point for this episode?
I think...
How 2 out of 3 fall matches are so done with.
Yeah.
So done with them.
We talked about it last week. I don't fully understand Vince McMahon's thinking of no wrestling in between commercials, and you have to use these commercial breaks to set up a 2 out of 3 falls match, and I just don't get it, because you have mastered WWE live on television for how many years has Raw been?
I mean, I guess 26 now. Yeah, we had a Raw 25 25. Yeah, 25.
So, 25 plus years of Raw being on the air live, or maybe not live, including all that. I know it was pre-recorded at sometimes, and WCW kind of forced them to become live, but you have mastered it for so long and so good. And even like SmackDown does that thing, or used to do that thing, where it would have a little screen at the bottom showing the wrestling still happening while the commercials came on. Like, why can't you just implement that?
What do you think is the reasoning for him wanting no wrestling during commercial breaks, though? Is it kind of to give them a break, or
maybe it's to give him a break? But I mean,
I think more of he's just disconnected from the product. You know, I mean, it's
the 2 out of 3
with the times.
The 2 out of 3 falls just ruins the momentum of anything, and then the people running in and starting a match, it's predictable, and it's like, oh my god, someone's gonna run in now and just start this match back up, and it's the first fall. Now let's take a 2.5 minute break so we can set up the next one.
And the first fall is usually so flat that would never happen. You're not getting pinned that way in any other match at any other time.
It's like that Elias Miz when that happened the week prior. It's like you're not going to see Elias do his finisher, 45 seconds in. It's like, oh, geez, well, here's a word from our sponsors. See you later.
Exactly.
Like, we'll be back right after. Like, it's like,
so
that
it's like,
would
why
never
are you
happen.
even doing it? Because you're taking away from the wrestler's agility. You're taking away from the power of it, the power of his signature, the power of his finisher.
It kind of waters a lot of shit down all at once.
Definitely.
Like, I think it's detrimental to overall. The product but honestly, the most thing is detrimental too is the performer itself. It's like you look at like an example. It's like, oh, like Elias does his finisher 30 seconds in, and the Miz is down for a pin. Like no, he knows what's going to be up. He's got to hype himself up. If that was a pay-per-view match or a WrestleMania match, he'd kick out right away before it even hit 3. You know?
Yeah, and there's way too many 2 out of 3 falls count matches on. I shouldn't be on live TV like that all the time.
No, maybe a
reserve
live
that
event
kind of match for a title match or something else.
It makes it less special. Yeah, it really does. It's like
those matches are always supposed to be special because you're like, oh shit, it's gonna get down to they both have a pin, next one wins.
Not when you're expecting it every single week coming.
It's like before the whole 2 out of 3 falls thing came back in the WWE. When's the last time we saw that? We saw it, I mean, with Gargano and Cole. But before that, that was that had been years since we saw that kind of stipulation.
And just because it worked in NXT doesn't mean it's going to work in Raw or SmackDown. But 2 completely different, or 3 completely different products.
Yeah.
You can really say 2 because we're on SmackDown. I mean, interchangeable.
Yeah, exactly.
And the same stuff is happening on Raw and SmackDown at this point. The Usos and The Miz in a 6-man tag match versus Revival and Elias. You know, good to see everybody getting TV time, but this match was good, I would say.
Mm-hmm. There's no need for it though.
Yeah,
if you really break it down, there's no need for it. The 6-man tag is just way overplayed, in my opinion.
Yeah, there was
where did the Usos, where did the Miz come in? Okay, you get a couple promos.
What exactly was the game?
Exactly. People don't like certain people. Obviously, a Revival and Elias on Shane McMahon's side, but that's just stemming back to what we see every single week with Shane McMahon. Do we need to keep seeing that?
Yeah, it's weird because you look at like for instance, an example is like the librarian gimmick in AEW. Not a lot of people are liking that shit right now. So what is their response? AEW is they go on Being the Elite and they make fun of, oh, we're gonna push them to the top, and it's sarcastic, like, oh, but the underlying tone is we're listening to you guys. We know what you want to see. Like, we'll kind of get away from this shit. But then you everyone knows in that company that we don't want to see Shane McMahon anymore. I mean, Kevin Owens the following night drops a pipe bomb on it pretty much, and it's weird because it's kind of one of those things where I see a lot of the shit going on in their promotion for WWE, and it's kind of, I feel like Vince has two fingers in his ears like a little kid, just being like, no, it's okay, I can't hear you kind of deal. It's like, dude, you gotta listen to the fans. It's like
at some point, at what point do you stop giving yourself total control and actually listen to the people? The people are the reason you are where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're not only are they the ones continuing to support you, but at the same time they're the ones giving you the kind of the notion of, hey, this isn't working, but you know what? You want to sell more tickets and see our asses in seats, go with this guy, or stop that, like, you know what I mean?
But day in and day out, they just don't want to listen to us.
Well, I think they want to listen. I think it's just one, and we all know who the one person is. We all know who gets the fucking final say. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it is a company owned by Vince McMahon. So whatever he wants is what he's gonna get. And some stuff works in the past. Some stuff works now. I do think that he needs to adapt eventually.
Yeah.
And hopefully, he recognizes that people like us. I'm 28. Collin, you're 26.
26 as well. Yeah.
And we're defecting. I'm a lifelong WWE fan. I was a WWE fan during the Monday Night Wars. I was anti WCW, and I just did not like WCW. I always stuck by WWE, and I'm in this weird spot where I've always been a WWE guy. And
so you're too invested now to give up on it.
I don't want to give up on it. I want them to succeed.
So I remember when I first met you and I was talking. I was all AEW, New Japan. Like, I mean, you watched that stuff too, but at the same time, the first thing you said, you were like, man, like I am a WWE fanatic fan for life.
Because that's where your roots are. That's what you're based off.
I have a WWE championship in my house. In my
we're looking at it right now, literally. No, but I think you're right. But you know what's funny? Let me ask you guys this and get your opinion on this. So, you ever hear like the term like, oh, he's just doing that for a paycheck? Like, people like just kind of do shit just for a payday. Like, oh, I hate my job, but you know what? It pays the bill, so I can't complain. Do you think at the same time, because they're a publicly traded company, that those shareholders are just happy with they don't really watch the product, but they're happy with just like, oh, like, that's cool. There's nothing offensive. You're not gonna lose our share stocks. Do you think that they're just kind of doing this for a payday at this point because of their publicly traded company? Like, I mean, that could probably just be me going off the rails and getting a good buzz right now off these fucking shandies, but I think it kind of won't be. It's kind of something to think about at least.
You're definitely hitting the nail on the head right there, because that's something I never thought about. But I mean, that's basically what's happening, right? We're in an era now where it's the same thing basically every single week. So obviously they're profiting off of it. You see the tickers go by every single show. Oh, we're the most watched product. We beat the NFL. We beat the NBA. We beat MLB, NHL. Blow them out of the water. Well, who's watching that? That's not me and you. That's the parents who are having it in the background for their 12-year-olds, their 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to the fact that they really don't care what they're putting out, so to speak. It's not, oh, okay, we need to get in and we need to do this to make ourselves better, because they know they're always going to get those same people who are watching it, the same people who put the TV on and then just walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be on. No matter what, you're still going to get a guaranteed number of views.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in viewership, we talked about this before, in terms of TV is not necessarily the factor of things now, and YouTube is playing a significant role in Facebook Live, and things like that. You get more viewers by posting it on YouTube later. I mean, there's Raw highlights all over YouTube during Raw. Like, you don't even need to watch Raw. You just literally watch the highlights right after.
Yeah.
So there's,
or even just watch parts of SmackDown where they even review parts of Raw at the same time.
Yeah, and you literally can just watch, the highlights the next day and be like, oh, okay, now I know what happened, and I don't really need to fill myself in, and I don't need to invest my time Monday night.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, that's what I do. I don't sit down every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and watch the full product.
You can't.
Yeah,
You even get burnt out. You know what I mean? It's like,
and especially depending on how old you are, where you are at in life. People got work, you got other things going on. I sit down, and whether it be that night, maybe a half hour after Raw has ended, I watch the highlights, and basically I watch a half hour video, and I got all the talking points. I'm sitting here, we're talking about the match. I didn't watch the full 3 hours of Raw because I just couldn't put myself through that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, we got a little bit off track, but another important part of Raw, but it was a pretty low point, actually. One of the lowest points I consider was the Rey Mysterio comeback and his match with Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
I hated this segment.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was the lowest point.
I mean, I thought it was the lowest point. I mean, so did you. You thought it was a low point too.
I mean, I rated it low, but still, I mean, that...
I don't understand why you would want Rey Mysterio to come back and then all of a sudden he gets squashed by Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley comes out there with...
A week after he went to the hospital.
Braun Strowman's not there because he's still all messed up, and Bobby Lashley comes out there completely fine, like nothing ever happened. I get it, the whole I was the last man standing match, I was the last man standing, and it's going to turn into a last man standing match, but really, I disliked his opponent. It could have been anybody. He could have had a normal match. It didn't have to be a phenomenal match. You could have had a match with anybody, and I would have been happy with Rey Mysterio. Just have a nice little comeback.
Well, you know what would have been cool if I for instance, if I was in a creative or putting together a match with these guys, is like you think about like the week prior, like Bobby Lashley goes to the hospital, the whole going through the Titantron thing. So he meets up with Mysterio, and it's like, oh, like, the smaller guy, like, you can't beat me, I'm the giant. It's like, he could act like, kind of sell the whole, I'm still injured from everything, and then Mysterio beats him. And that wouldn't take away from Lashley so much, as it's like, oh, I went through this huge moment on Raw, the prior week and everything. And I remember I actually watched this match in full, and even, like, I mean, I didn't grade with you guys because I didn't have time to watch it this week, but going through the highlights and everything, I was like, that's kind of weird of, like, them to just bury Mysterio when like he's one of their. We obviously all know he's one of their, not only one of their top guys, but one of the top sellers of merchandise and all that kind of shit.
Just such a long time reigning player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
to be put down like that.
He was a past champion, and he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Lashley will too at some point. You look at these. I think that's one of the things we don't think about at the same time. Like these superstars now, like who will be in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I mean, I watched that and I was like, there was so much room to work with. It was kind of a blank canvas of like, make your art. Like you could do something kind of cool. And it kind of seems like they just went like, I'm just gonna draw a line right down the middle, and it is what it is. It's like that's too fucking.
And you're
lazy.
gonna take it. You're gonna watch it, and you're gonna accept it.
The thing I did like about it, not everything was negative from this, even though I did rate it as like the lowest part. But the thing I did like is that Bobby Lashley looked strong, and his promo at the end, it was short, sweet, to the point. And it made Bobby Lashley look like a badass, which I know we talked about previously.
Yeah, we did.
But Bobby Lashley is he's in the MMA.
He's kicking ass and taking names. He doesn't give a fuck who stands in his way.
Exactly.
He's gonna be the number one.
Yeah.
That's what his goal is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because I remember back in the day when I was watching him in the mid-2000s, not a lot of people our age liked him, but as a kid, I was like, dude, this guy's fucking awesome. He was going against like Umaga and all that shit, and he was just like a giant. He was. I remember when he re-debuted for WWE after what was it, the Raw after Mania. Even I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, I don't know. I feel like his push just kind of got killed when they put him with Lio Rush, and like he's not talking, and he's just gonna go full heel, and everybody was kind of like, oh, all right, you know, it is what it is. But I think they can rebuild him for as far as it goes with a very good heel at the same time. He's already a good heel, but he can get to that point where it's like he's the top fucking heel, you know, of that company, of that company promotion
that they're putting out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is the run out match,
and literally, I will have missed nothing.
Yeah,
so
and
I mean that's my point on it.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it went.
Yeah, but if we think about it, we all know anybody in this company who's a performer is not a bad performer. They got skills.
No, they got to where they are somehow.
Yeah, but I mean, if we think about it, did No Way Jose ever have a chance of that gimmick?
No, not at all.
No Way Jose.
But why even put him? I love it. He set it up and he did it. But why even put Cesaro there to begin with? You got Cesaro who's going against Ricochet day in, day out, putting himself up there. Obviously, we'll touch on it a little bit. He's going to fight Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Why are you filling in a little match with No Way Jose? Come on.
Yeah.
What, to finish in 5 minutes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's also at the same time to kind of give him that whole, like, I'm the tough-ass motherfucking bad guy that I can beat anybody and all that, you know.
I'm the bad guy.
But think about it, like, I as much as this, you know, segment, we'll call it a segment if anything, or a squash match, as much as it sucked, it was needed to kind of, you know, for the following night to kind of build it up of, like, you know, him, like, I can kick anyone's ass and da-da-da-da, and I have braces now, and it's kind of weird because I had my teeth smashed in, and...
I like it. If you think of it like that, I take it a little bit better than what it actually was.
I mean, well, from what you guys were saying, it was way better than the fucking Mysterio Lashley segment. Because at least you can take a shower, so that's way better, you know? All right, so what we got?
Both terrible.
I'll be honest. I would have took a shower during a No Way Jose match too.
But it's funny, it's weird now because he used to have the fro and it was cool, but now he's got the fucking Naomi hair with the
nothing against him. I would, you know, use him in a different way, I guess.
Use him to not take a shower with.
See, he would be good. So moving on.
Just end it. It's dead.
Yeah, it's dead.
Dead and gone.
The Viking Raiders first.
The Viking Warriors.
The War Raiders. The artists
War
formerly
Raiders.
known as the War Raiders.
Sponsored by JR's Barbecue Sauce.
First, Carl Anderson and...
Luke Gallows?
Oh, yeah. Luke Gallows.
No, you're on a completely
the
different
Shandies and the Seltzer are taking over, ladies and gentlemen. As you
They make you not be able to read.
Yeah, I'm...
I'll be the first one to say it. Love the Viking Raiders.
We are on the Joey Janela weekend vibes with our
70
with our
White
spiked
Claws.
seltzers. Yeah.
We're all a little bit bad
all right,
boys.
sorry for that mistake. The Viking Raiders versus Collin and Devin Justin.
What was that, like a local jobbers or something like that?
Yeah, so we're not even going to talk about it. Cause
Exactly.
You know,
Viking
Let's bring it up,
experience
but let's not
shuts
talk
them
about
down.
No, yeah, there's nothing to mention really.
Honestly, if you take it, who are
good.
the only people that the Viking Raiders can compete against and have a great match with?
Somebody in NXT.
It's got to be it's got to be Otis and the other dude. I don't even know.
Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, Heavy Machinery.
I guess that would be cool.
Love it.
Yeah,
Why
mean,
not?
The fucking one. What was it? The Viking Raiders. Who were they with for that War Games? Was it? It was Ricochet, right? That was a fucking awesome match. I love them in NXT. When I knew they were getting called up, I was like, "Ah, man, I don't know how I feel about this." But I mean, they're still trying to build them strong and everything. But then it's like they go from the War Raiders to the Viking experience, and it was just like I don't know where it's gonna go. But I think they're still gonna build them up.
Yeah,
so I guess we'll see where it goes. So, moving along, what do we got next, Matt? Matt is indulging in some American Swiss cheese
A nice
right now.
keto treat.
It was funny, before we watched Fight for the Fall, I went to go get some ice cream and a Mountain Dew. to watch and I was like, "Wow, I wonder what Matt's gonna get." He's like, "I'm getting a cheese platter."
That's what keto does to you, folks.
That's what keto does, folks.
I'm back. The next the next match
Do
was
not edit this out, please.
Ricochet versus Luke Gallows. That eventually got turned into by commercial break, probably.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Turned to Ricochet versus Carl Anderson. This one surprisingly not bad.
No,
Yeah.
not bad.
I mean, you
get
got
to
a couple of
see
good
feats.
workers, you know.
You get to see feats of Ricochet, and I think honestly he's a great wrestler. Awesome. I love everything he does.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, why? If it was going to be Ricochet and Luke Gallows, make the match Ricochet and Luke Gallows.
Yeah.
Just because Ricochet wins, you got AJ Styles come in. Oh, you can't beat him. You got to beat the next guy. Then you can get to me. Like, dude, come on. You lost the title last week.
Yeah.
It's over.
And
Let it go.
And it's also a good thing. If it was that, it'd be a good thing for like Luke Gallows. Like, I mean, obviously him and Carl Anderson as a tag team are going to go down as one of the best of all time. But think about like, hey Luke, like tonight you're going to go against Ricochet. You're on your own. Give you some alone time for you to shine. You know, just have your time in the sun a little bit and show you're a good heel just on your own alone. So that kind of would have been cool just to see them. But well, of course, it turns into the whole like you either have the 2 out of 3 falls match,
Yep,
for the,
or
the
the
no wrestling,
typical-
or the typical. Oh man, they interrupted. Like, what's going on? This might be a disqualification, but first, a word from Fruity Pebbles, and then they go to it, and then it comes back. It's like, well, golly gee, this is a 7-man, 8-man tag match.
This
all
just
of a sudden.
turned into a slobber
No
knocker.
way,
Like, come on.
Jose's dancers are now on the team with Ricochet. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it was my highest rated match of the night, and the only reason why I think is because Ricochet is a phenomenal performer.
They're definitely
and
building him up to be like one of the top baby
The
faces,
club with
too.
AJ Styles is
Which
what
I definitely don't
what I
have a
want.
problem with. Ricochet kills it and everything he does. I love him.
Yeah,
Just put him back with Aleister Black,
you love
and
him.
everything will be happy.
You love him.
Did I say that out loud?
All right. So that was my highest point and one of Collin's highest points of the evening for Raw on July 8th. We had 2 more matches, Bayley versus, well, actually 3 matches technically, but the Beat the Clock match. So Bayley versus Sarah Logan and Nikki Cross versus Dana Brooke. The one thing I really dislike about this style of match is I already know that Dana Brooke is not winning.
Yeah.
Sarah Logan is not winning.
No.
So you have just discredited the capabilities of
Both
2 people
wrestlers.
on your roster already.
Yeah, and it's like I remember a couple weeks ago I was
That's
talking to you. About,
insulting.
remember a couple of weeks ago I was talking to you about how there was a ton of people backstage saying Dana Brooke is like one of the hardest workers. Like she puts in, she's training all the time and everything. And obviously we can see from I follow Sarah Logan on social media on Instagram that is, and she's always putting in work and always at a gym or a wrestling ring or some kind of wrestling school, always putting in the work. And it's weird because we have so many people signed at once that when you give them TV time, you got to give them a little incentive to build up not only your product, but at the same time them as performers to give them some credibility and stock, if you want to call it that. And we're not seeing it a lot with, especially Dana Brooke. I mean, think of, like if we think about it, even on NXT, they really didn't give her a chance, in my opinion.
Well, she got called up from NXT relatively quick.
I think too quick at the same time. I think they just kind
They
of
threw her with Charlotte, and she
Yeah.
did her little, she was her friend, her
confidant,
manager,
whatever you want to call it.
did
Yeah,
dirty work for her. Yeah, and that's just, interesting. It is interesting that Nikki Cross won. I would have assumed that Bayley would have won going into that match, but she did not, and Nikki Cross got to make her decision that she wanted a handicap
big
match.
surprise. We
Yeah,
all saw it
handicap match.
coming. Come
handicap
on.
match with
I do it for
Alexa
Alexa.
Bliss.
You can grab a friend. Like, come on, dude.
What we don't know is maybe Sasha Banks will come back and help Bayley in this situation.
Which
That
would
is
make
one of the rumors.
Everything's so much better.
yeah, exactly.
think we can agree on
But I
that.
also think at the same time, if it was the whole Lex Luger thing where Sasha Banks showed up on the first fucking episode of AEW on TNT, that'd be fucking fire as well.
Yeah.
I said fire. Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know. Who knows what is going on with Sasha Banks' contract at this moment? So
Well, she's doing a lot of those cryptic tweets and liking
she's
a
in
lot of other
Japan
promotion.
currently, training with people over there.
Yeah. But at the same time, I've seen a lot of... She needs a little bit more training at the same time from more experienced people, not only on the American circuit. Because as much as a great performer she is, I've seen a lot of botches where I've gone, yo, she just fucking like spiked her head. How does she not have a broken neck right now? So, but it's good. She's overall a great performer. Yeah. So
and she
we'll
has
see
those back injuries from the past.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess we'll see where it pans out. And Matt, I guess that's a... Well, that wasn't a segue at all, but take us into the last match of the night.
Roman Reigns and Gary Garbutt? Is that how?
Gary the Goat...
The janitor.
The janitor
Come
from
on.
backstage. They've been teasing that they're gonna find some rando to be Roman Reigns as.
You start with the garbage man,
Yeah, the garbage
best
man, trash
garbage man
I'm the
in the
trash
world.
man.
What fucking janitor just wears a fucking lucha mask? Oh,
I mean,
it's Gary!
we all had to see it coming.
But Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre are choosing Roman Reigns as partner.
Oh, big surprise! Headline once again.
This match
The
sucks.
best in the world.
The best in the world. Yeah.
Sonny Kiss!
And his ass.
This was dreadful, and I really disliked it. It was interesting that Cedric Alexander was the masked man, but I didn't see any point to it other than, okay, cool, he's in the main event. He's 205 Live, previous, champion, the Cruiserweight.
Do you think it's kind of like one of those Mustafa Ali kind of things where they kind of call him up from 205 Live to be in the main roster, and they're kind of like, oh, we could do that with someone on Raw at the same time? Or is it just, hey, like, let's fucking pick a name out of the hat?
I feel like this was pick a name out of the hat.
I think it would have been better if Gary the janitor was actually a jobber and killed it. I mean, why we don't need to see Cedric Alexander. If he would have ripped his mask off and it was still Gary, I think that would have been better than Cedric Alexander.
What if it was just like an actual old man? Like, oh shit, it's actually fucking Gary.
And he was like, I just
Gary,
kicked your
I
ass.
didn't know Gary could do a fucking moonsault.
Come on.
All right, so so overall, you guys gave it a C, both
C,
you guys. So I
yeah.
guess like
We didn't even talk about any of the 24/7 championship with it.
Well, nothing really happened. I mean,
But still.
they had some.
I would rather watch
Maverick
a
24/7.
I would rather watch a 24/7 promo
Yeah, I would.
than
Yeah,
Gary the
It's so
janitor any day.
it's Gary the janitor,
I
the
mean,
goat.
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
The janitor should have won
The 24/7 belt.
champion.
That actually probably would have put me over on
I
Raw.
hope Gary the janitor fucking wins the next cup in Saudi Arabia, dude. So
Yeah.
bad.
Oh,
Well, it's
man.
funny because you go from when the 24/7 champion was revealed. I remember I had the most sour taste in my mouth. Like, fuck this. This is fucking stupid. And now it's the highlight of every Monday Night Raw.
That
We
actually
were
wasn't
talking
because of the
about
belt.
The hardcore
That was
title
something else.
and 24/7 rule
Wait,
on
what?
it as well. And we had talked about that maybe a week or two, like a couple of days before they introduced it.
I mean, the big rumor was like it was when Mick Foley was announced for it. It's like, oh, the hardcore championship's
Yeah.
coming back. But
It
you
was
can't do
amazing.
a-
I was texting Matt. I was literally texting you on my flight back from Orlando. I was watching. I was the only person on my JetBlue flight watching wrestling besides the couple next to me. I think they just put it on to fall asleep. And I'm texting Matt. I'm like, yo, Mick Foley's introducing a new belt. It's got to be the hardcore belt, 24/7. And that was just... It's fucking
We're going to
amazing.
present the Brawl for All 2019 championship.
Yeah, Bart Gunn's gonna come back and
Bart
fuck
Gunn just
everybody
comes
up.
back, fucking just knocks out JBL again.
And then Sonny Kiss comes out and knocks him back out. Just does a nice twerk salt on him. How's that for hardcore?
All right. Well,
Big Sonny Kiss fans, if you guys haven't realized by now.
Yeah, we're Sonny Kiss marks. Ah, the power of editing.
oh no, it's all going live.
Fuck it. We're doing it live.
Moving along.
All right.
Let's wrap up Raw. It ended horribly. And yeah, cool, whatever. Roman Reigns hanging out with Cedric Alexander next day. And SmackDown starts off with a pipe bomb from Kevin Owens.
Best part of the night.
Yeah.
Best part of the whole 2 hours that is SmackDown.
Yep, I would 100% consider this a good highlight of the evening, and it was an easy way to turn him back face after being a heel. He even explained some of his reasoning of what he was trying to accomplish while doing those heelish things.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. I
No,
think they actually needed it.
Yeah, I want to see Kevin Owens kind of just be the anti-hero, kind of just be his own individual. And hopefully Sami Zayn follows that path with him. I like the Sami Zayn we have now. Since they're friends, oh yeah, I like when he fucks with the crowd and does his thing, and
There's just
his promos are really good.
I want to fight Sami Zayn. That's how much I'm not over on him.
Well, Kevin Owens comes out, talks shit about Shane McMahon and the McMahon family in general, and how they promised us all these things. And number one thing on SmackDown and Raw has been Shane McMahon, which we all agree. Like, that is something that's been happening a lot recently, is Shane McMahon being the highlight of a lot of things, and a lot of fans are fed up with that. We want to see other wrestlers out there, and Kevin Owens addressed a lot of that, and it was pretty fun. And the whole
said
time
everything we were us as fans were thinking at the same time,
Yeah, and maybe Kevin Owens read some squared circle stuff, or
He was up on his Reddit game.
But yeah,
like, Kevin, we're gonna need you for a pipe bomb tonight. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm listening to Meltzer right now.
Let me just refresh and watch CM Punk's pipe bomb.
Maybe this company will be better after they get some ice cream bars back.
Yeah. CM Punk's still waiting for those ice cream bars.
Just like Jericho's still waiting for his thank you.
Jericho's waiting for a thank you. CM Punk wants ice cream bars.
Dude, Sean Spears came out with a gun.
Alright.
Did I mention I'm a big Sonny Kiss fan?
That's your gimmick.
Just putting Sonny Kiss over 24/7.
So what's your dream there, son? You want to become a performer, creative? Nah, I just want to be Sonny Kiss's fucking valet.
I want to be Sonny Kiss's underwear. All would be right in the world.
Alright. Well,
okay.
We will get to AEW later.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue with SmackDown with the match of Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura. They hinted at Shinsuke targeting that Intercontinental title last week, and we got to see a singles match between the two, and Shinsuke Nakamura coming victorious in this one.
Good. Great way to bring him back. Loved it. All in on it.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. It was a great match, technical wrestling, and that strong style he has of, Shinsuke is a very unique wrestler, and Finn Balor is overall a great performer as well. Putting the two back in the ring, both have traits of New Japan Pro Wrestling in them, and
Yeah.
I am looking forward to this match for the title more than anything, I think.
So, are they going at it at Extreme Rules, or
I believe so. We'll make
where's the
sure.
Joe Rogan? Pull that shit up, Jamie. You gotta show Matt that. Matt, you can edit. You gotta edit this part out, but it's.
We don't need to edit that out.
Oh, that's great.
This is the Shandy episode.
The White Claw.
This episode sponsored by Sonny Kiss's ass juice.
AKA a mango White Claw.
They are not facing each other for the title. Interesting.
They're not?
No.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
That match could honestly replace. Go back down. That match could replace Drew Gulak and Tony Nese, and I'd be.
Well, that's the Cruiserweight champion.
Come on,
If anything, it
that's
should
gotta
replace
be,
that.
it's gotta be good, man. Anything 20.
Well,
It's funny. Like, I've
whenever-
been watching a lot of 205 now, and they're awesome. I love that shit.
I don't. See, maybe that's where my downfall is, because I don't. That's
Oh, dude.
out of everything, that's the only one I don't watch, just because time constrictions. Obviously, like I said
Yeah.
before, work, life.
Oni Lorcan's on it, man. Biff Busick, #1.
Well, whenever they do face each other for the championship, I am looking forward to that.
Yeah. So what do we got next, Matt?
There's a contract signing between Bailey and Nikki Cross.
Week.
Week.
Could have done it the night before when you made the stipulations to the match.
Yep. Contract signings sometimes are really boring to me. They either go really well with someone flipping the table and doing their little shindig thing. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
We've already seen them try to do heel Bailey numerous times. Someone's gonna talk. Bailey's gonna get fed up with it, and she's gonna pop off. She's gonna crack her with one. Come on, how many times are you gonna do
Well,
it?
let me ask you guys this: did you follow Nikki Cross at all when she was in NXT?
I did not.
In NXT, like she wasn't bad at all. But at the same time, she never got. It was one of those things where everyone's gone through Shayna Baszler and been defeated. And I think it's one of the things where they're building her up with the Ronda Rousey and the other two chicks for the four horsewomen and the MMA coming in. But Nikki Cross was like always built up as this like crazy character, like I'm all alone, like I'm by myself, I'm a lone wolf, and I will do anything to get to where I got to go and
Unless she's with
go against
Sanity.
it. Well, yeah, at the same time, her on the main roster, it's kind of like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just my feeling alone personally, but I look at her in the main
She's
roster.
getting more mic time than she did previously.
Yeah, and I get the whole, reinventing your character, times change with, the writing process, but when I see her on TV, it's nothing special. It's
No, you're just waiting for the next thing to come.
quite honestly, and I hate to say it because she is a good performer, but it's a fucking piss break for me.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is because of what they've been writing for her.
Shower match.
Shower match. Total shower match.
She's the male Jose.
That's all right.
Female,
whatever. I get down with that.
She'll get better as time progresses and they can figure out what her niche is. The tag team match featuring
My boys.
Who we got?
Heavy Machinery, New Day, Daniel
yeah.
Bryan, and Rowan. This was pretty okay at best.
I'm liking Daniel Bryan as a heel a lot, though. I think it's fucking awesome.
Daniel Bryan is a natural heel, and I prefer Daniel Bryan as a heel. And he's not even saying everything Daniel Bryan says is true. So when people boo him, when he talks about the environment, when he talks about statistics when it comes to wrestling, everything he outlines is true. It's the manner of how he says it that causes people to boo him, I think. But everything he says is 100% true. Which,
well, I'm vegetarian, so I love him. I've always loved him. But yeah, I feel, what's cool too is him being in the team with Rowan. That kind of gave Rowan some more credibility as, because before we kind of knew him as like, oh, he's part of the Wyatt family, but he's the guy that like they call in for maybe once a month to have a match with someone while Brace's on the outside with a rocking chair. And I feel like, Rowan's got a lot of credibility, especially with teaming with Daniel Bryan, one of the top guys still, even if he's a heel in the company.
yeah, I agree. And eventually we get a Otis versus Xavier Woods versus Daniel Bryan match. This was pretty interesting. See Otis, it's everybody essentially from the tag team just in a triple threat match.
Yeah.
Decent match at best, so I would call this one a good overall. Wouldn't really put it up there with weighing a lot on the overall night.
Yeah, and it's good that Xavier Woods is finally getting some time in the ring too, because he's always just been the fucking like trombone guy, the up down guy in the YouTube channel that's sponsored by WWE. But if you look at this guy in the ring, he knows what he's doing, and I feel like if they give him a little bit more time, like he could kind of like take Biggie's place a little bit when it comes to Biggie's always in the big matches when it's not
And he
Kofi for the new ring.
break out on his own. Just because he's not Kofi with a belt or the big muscular guy, he still has his own to weigh in on.
Yeah, imagine like him against Kenny Omega. Like that'd be so fun to watch because they're both big video game fans. Just imagine as a fan, I'd be like that would be like just so fun to watch. You know what I mean?
Could Sonny Kiss be a special guest referee?
No, her ass.
Then it brings us to our final match.
Oh, is that what happened? That was the...
Yeah, we're transitioning to this final match. Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. Main event of the evening. Roman Reigns in back-to-back main events for Raw and SmackDown.
This wild card rule.
Obviously, who else?
There is no wild card rule, and it's
It should have been me.
God damn it, Paige.
It's actually a pretty good match though, and probably one of the best matches of the night.
Yeah.
Besides Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor, I think it shows Roman Reigns being Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It is what it is with him. But Dolph Ziggler getting the time that he deserves and the respect that he deserves.
I think that's the big part that you touched on, because you said Roman Reigns, he is what he is. We obviously know what he is.
Still
what
a
he has
fucking
to
great
offer.
worker, though. I will say that.
And he is. But the main part of it is Dolph coming back and just seeing him
I'm a huge
work.
Dolph Ziggler guy.
It's a great. I'd like that more than the
Yeah.
typical Roman match we get every week.
You know what's weird is because you hear about... Here's the thing I think a lot of people are not with Dolph at the moment. So you look at, like, for an example, Chris Jericho. His biggest thing is, like, whenever I enter a new phase, whether I go heel or face, back to back, whatever, he always reinvents himself into a kind of a new character. We've seen, Dolph the same, pretty much. Even as a heel, too, and a face, he's been the same thing for... I remember I went to a Raw in 2012. 2013, because CM Punk was still in the company, and it's been the same ever since. It's like, dude, like, you gotta, like, kind of reinvent yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? I think the most reinvention Dolph's done is they're playing his opponent's intro music, and then all of a sudden you hear the scratch of the record, and then it's his theme song. I'm like, really? Like, you can just fucking go on GarageBand and fucking do that shit in, like, 2 seconds if you want. But... I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like Dolph is... He's getting older, whatever. I mean, he's not that old. He's obviously in his, like, upper 30s, but... I'm getting very bored of whenever he comes on. It's the same kind of Dolph's on piss break. He really is.
I disagree, kind of. I really like watching Dolph Ziggler fight. And he's a great technical wrestler. He's a great wrestler overall. And
he's great in the ring. It's just his character I can't.
Maybe some character improvement, but I think that you put him in the ring, he's the number one seller in WWE, I think.
I would go with that, because I definitely agree with Matt. Like I said before, obviously someone coming back to wrestling after taking off so long. I obviously haven't seen Dolph to the extent that you guys have. So for me, it's kind of watching him, and I love it. I love every match he's in, and it's great.
Oh, absolutely.
So that concludes SmackDown for that week. I gave it a 79.3.
And I got a flat 78.
So better than Raw from both you guys, right?
It's better than Raw.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a C+ for me, and pretty much C+ for both of us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess we're going to move on to NXT, and I actually didn't get a chance to watch this. I watched the highlights, however, so if you guys want to start this off, what do we have first, guys?
All right, Collin, why don't you talk to us about Io Shirai?
Io, all in on her. All in on Io. Like I said, my first live event in probably, what are we saying, maybe 13 years, if not more, was NXT TakeOver 25, and I got to see...
Really? That was your first live event in, like, that long?
Oh, man, yeah. Since I was probably, like, 9, 10, around then.
That was my first event since what I just mentioned, the 2013 Raw, where I saw those guys.
It was great. We had seats right in the middle of the ring. I saw all the action.
I didn't even know you guys, and I was 3 rows behind you.
Awesome. It's a great
super
thing.
Weird, yeah.
And that just speaks to how great the NXT product is. You could obviously see how much we're in on it, because when I saw Io go live, we were smacking the side of the wall. Everybody was just 110% in on that match.
Yeah, I remember during that match, I actually went to the bathroom, and not because it was a women's match or anything like that. I had to fucking piss so bad. And I remember getting back. It was about, I'd say 5 minutes to 8 minutes within the match, and there was people on my section standing up every time she did something and clapping,
freaking out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I had seen her on TV and stuff, but I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm finally getting to see him live. they fucking blew me away. Especially Shayna Baszler too, which I never liked Shayna Baszler, but she was great live. But Io Shirai, like, dude, I am all on the train for her for sure.
Definitely. So I think her turning the heel, coming out after she beat up, I don't even know what's her name.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah. I don't need any friends. I think it was great. Everybody's still obviously gonna watch her. She puts out a great product.
Oh,
Whether
absolutely.
she be with the Kimbo sticker or without it, she's still gonna whoop your ass. High flying.
Kimbo
Kendo,
sticker.
whatever. Speaks to the White Claws that we've been drinking.
She dug up Kimbo's slice and just beat her over the fucking head.
Rest in peace.
What do you like about her promo the most?
That she doesn't need anybody. She is who she is. She's still gonna kick ass. She's gonna take names, and that's it. Doesn't need anybody.
It's very, like, blunt. We were touching on this earlier about, like, the Adam Cole vignette of him going to Gargano's wrestling school and his parents' pizza shop. It's very just right down to the bone, very simple. It's not, like, overproduced or anything. It's just her coming out like, I don't need friends. Like, I'm going to do this on my own. Like, fuck everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's what a real heel is. A real heel doesn't need a backup plan or someone to back them up because
Isn't taking somebody with them in case it doesn't work out.
And it's one of those things where when a heel has somebody like that, like, it doesn't, like, take away from them or anything. But at the same time, when you got somebody who can hold their fucking own and they got balls to do it, which apparently she does within this promo, that just puts her stock up even more, in my opinion.
She jumped 30 feet from the top of the cell.
I mean, 30 feet's a stretch, but
whatever it is, she did it.
She
I totally agree. To take her with her.
And it's funny because I remember watching that cage match and I actually fell asleep like the minute the pin happened. I was like, oh, cool, whatever, going to bed. And then it was earlier today where you're like, well, you didn't see the rest of it. And then she attacks Candice LeRae, and I was like, whoa, shit, she turned heel. And she came out in this one, and she usually comes out like a costume or some kind of prop, like all happy and everything. She just came out in full leather and was like, letting the crowd boo her for like what, like two, like, it was after like it was like
and just ate it.
Yeah, like after Roman beat the Undertaker, just boo boo boo, and she was like, I don't need friends.
I
was
don't
like,
need
that's
you.
badass.
I don't need any of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So I agree that this was a pretty good promo to start off NXT.
Definitely, I couldn't see them starting it off any other way.
Yeah, and we had a breakout tournament match, so another tournament happening in NXT as it continues. Jordan Miles. Is it Miles or Miles?
Who's it?
And anyway, versus... What is this guy? Versus Boa.
I wish I could have seen Boa win. Jordan Miles with his antics, the smiling, the dribbling, the basketball, the free throws. It didn't do it for me. Personally, I didn't like it. I know Alex, he was watching it with me.
Yeah,
I don't think he liked it either.
Yeah,
I wish Bo could have won because I would have liked to see what that kid could do in the future.
But you know what? To play devil's advocate though, we could see what this guy can do. Even though you and I were watching it earlier, and like the whole time. It was like, man, that fucking, like, that gimmick sucks.
Yeah, too cringy.
It's too cringy and too babyface, and, like, as negative as we can sound about some things on this podcast, it definitely was one of those things where it's like, man, like, we don't want this. Like,
no,
like come on.
We've seen it done.
Like, the last time I saw a gimmick like that was Apollo Crews when he was in NXT, when he was just like, come on, let's go, like, thumbs up. It's like, great performer, and so was this guy.
Yeah.
Like no, you're in NXT, dude. Like, you're fucking good.
Definitely.
And
I
don't
want
to see someone come out like thumbs up, like, all right, guys.
Yeah,
party
we're
on.
ready. We're ready to wrestle.
Let's rock and wrestle, boy. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, not everyone has to be a heel. I'm not saying that, but the whole gimmick was just like, but the match itself, not bad. But I am curious to see, because even though I did not like this gimmick, and you as well, this could lead to something that we're not maybe seeing the full picture of. You know what I mean?
With them?
Within his character, or,
Okay.
That's the thing, too, right? This breakout tournament, we don't know exactly...
Where everybody's going to go after it?
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Because obviously you got this far.
We also have to remember this is still developmental. Mm-hmm. This isn't a set in stone. This is who this person is. I mean, you look at someone like Bayley when she first came out. She was totally opposite of what she is now. She came out like just like this guy, like thumbs up, like, how's it going, guys? And yeah, she's the happy character, but still, like, she eventually turned heel. kind of got new allies and everything like that. Same thing with like Becky Lynch and Charlotte and even Sasha at the same time. So there's still time to grow on this character, but match, I thought personally when I watched it today, I was performance-wise good, but the gimmick for him,
character-wise,
flat. It made me lose
that.
interest like pretty fucking quick. So
yeah, it was an okay match for me. 75 is what I would rate that out of 100. Collin, you gave it an 83.
Yeah,
you were shocked that I gave it even lower than that. But
yeah, just because I really liked Boa. That's honestly what gave me the 83.
Yeah.
All right, moving along. Damian Priest versus Blanco Loco. I thought this was a pretty good match, and I like the path that Damian Priest is headed to make him a standout guy and kind of set the picture of like who can be in the mix for one of those titles. I gave this match an 85 out of 100. I gave it 83.
I gave it the
close.
same as the breakout tournament just because I love what Damien does. I think his wrestling style is awesome. His whole gimmick. He's definitely not somebody that you would see team up with somebody else for a tag match because he's just, I'm going to kick ass, do it all on my own, take notes, get the hell out of the ring.
He definitely
Come
has that
see
like
me
cool
next.
like lone wolf kind
Yeah,
of feel at the same
definitely.
time. You know what I
Kind of
mean?
like Baron Corbin.
Absolutely not. But you know who does have that feel? JR's barbecue sauce. Putting plug in real quick. But moving on anyways. What do we have?
Final match was Street Profits versus Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan.
Gotta love it. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Really fun match. Weren't quite sure who would have came out victorious. I didn't read any spoilers on Reddit.
Gotta watch out for those spoilers. Even on the
And-
Instagram Explorer feed, though. Luckily, a lot of people do like spoiler alert, and then I'm like, I'll skim over and I see the yellow fucking ropes, and I'm like, nope, never mind.
But I'm curious to see what is happening with the Street Profits with their promos on Raw. Or seeing that more frequently, and
Love them.
I
love the promos.
the promos are great. But
I just hope they don't just like the War Raiders, the Viking Experience, whatever you want to call them. I hope they don't get lost in Raw because the energy they bring to NXT is like something I've never seen.
They give it that fun vibe.
Yeah.
And I think, like, you know, we've had these tag champions in NXT that have always been great. But when's the last time we had tag champions, you know, besides the New Day, where it's just fucking fun? It's a fun vibe. I mean, we were all at NXT Takeover. You guys had the cups with them,
And
you
might
guys
just
poured
be
beer in
exactly.
their cups for them.
It might
on
just
live
be
TV.
because
we
he
did.
turned around to us and said,
Yeah, we did.
pour beer into my cup and drink it right now. We're all over live TV. It was great. It was a great experience. So that might be why I'm all in on them.
Yeah.
But I just really hope they don't get lost into those depths of Raw, SmackDown, whatever it may be.
So why I am all in on them is I didn't like their gimmick when I first saw them. I thought I was like, okay, you know, it's just kind of like them, like their culture and everything. But at the same time, that night I was like, I don't know if I like these guys or not. I saw them perform on just an NXT taping. And I was like, fuck, these guys like know their shit. This is a good fucking tag team.
That's exactly how I felt.
But when I saw them perform for the first time on TV, I knew about how they were going to be in the NXT ladder match. My exact thought, as much as I love Orny Loken, I was like, the Street Profits better fucking win at TakeOver.
And see, that's funny because I wasn't even like that. Like I said, first match in however long, these guys came out and I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, you're coming through the crowd. You get everybody in on it. I didn't really want them to win. I would have been happy with anybody from the Undisputed Era winning. Even the Forgotten Sons would have been cool. The match either way would have been fucking amazing.
The Forgotten Sons of
But
Anarchy.
the way they won, the Street Profits took it. I mean, you couldn't be mad at that. Those guys are just fucking awesome.
You could tell they're the type of guys that got into developmental and they worked their fucking asses off to get where they are. For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, NXT for that, we give a B+.
A good solid B+,
Definitely.
yeah, for sure.
Again, the
Outworking Raw and
most
SmackDown
consistent,
once again.
most consistent WWE product, and better than anything on the main roster that I've seen. Still,
Yeah, definitely. So let me ask you guys a quick question. I know we're about to pull up our Fighter Fest, or excuse me, oh my god, I fucked it up again. Just like last week. Fight for the Fallen match card. We have the graded review right now. The Shandies are taking full fucking effect now. I want to ask you guys, as we're going to pull up our Google... you're gonna edit this out.
I'm not going to edit it out.
Oh, god damn it.
It's going to be live.
It's going to be... Fuck it.
Joe Rogan style.
I can't read it! Before we pull up the Fight for the Fallen match card, let me ask you this. Before we end the NXT one, who that is not a main player, like a champion or whatever you want to call it, do you see going very big in NXT?
Could you...
Kyle O'Reilly.
Really? That's a bold statement.
That is because
no,
you
great fucking worker, but that's a bold statement because he has to break away from the stable, you know?
Oh, no. I mean, he can't do everything. Did Adam Cole have to break away from the stable?
And which effect are you taking, though? Because obviously, I think from the past couple of weeks, you could see that obviously they all want the gold, too. I think they're kind of working towards that.
Yeah.
But I would say I like Tyler Breeze. I think he's great. The way he just wrestles, he sells everybody else.
Yeah.
Great. And obviously, he had his time in Raw. I don't know what happened. Didn't last too long because he's back in NXT now, but...
Yeah. Well, him coming back, like, I was so happy about that. Because there was a lot of people who were like, oh, man, he's going back to NXT. Like, that sucks for him. I was like, sucks for him. He's probably fucking stoked, dude.
Yeah, because he can do it. Exactly.
He can travel.
I mean, we were there live when it was, let me take a selfie with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I stood right up and I was fucking clapping right then and there.
I'm in that so Colin. We're both in that selfie.
You're also ripping up Gargano's fucking paper sheet with the smiley face on it. All right, well, I guess we're going to move on to...
predictions?
Oh, excuse me, we didn't get to that. Yeah, so...
Let's we'll do some quick predictions for Extreme Rules, which is tomorrow, or today, later. It's about...
In a couple hours.
few hours.
Yeah, a couple hours. It's the early morning now.
Cruiserweight Championship match on the line. Drew Gulak, who is the current champion, versus Tony Nese. I think Drew Gulak will remain victorious in this. Tony Nese will take a short break from having that title.
I'll go Drew Gulak, or Gulak, as they call him. Gulak. I'll go with him just because they want to kind of, keep him a little bit, strong and heavy, keep it building up for the championship for sure with him. What do you got, Collin?
I honestly, I don't know the background of these two. I can't speak to it.
Well, Tony Nese is from Long Island. So does that change your perspective?
I know
so I would obviously want to be 110% on him.
Yeah,
but right. We're gonna keep Drew as the champ.
Okay. Aleister Black versus Cesaro. The promos of Aleister Black building up, leading to the mysterious man knocking on Aleister Black's door, ends up being Cesaro.
Lame.
I think
lame.
Lame, but you know what? Good. It's good because we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, everyone wanted to be Bray," but Matt and I were like, Matt said to me, he goes, "Well, it can't be Bray because one of them's gonna have to, go over, and the other one's not."
Exactly,
so it's
one of them's gonna have to lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just by the sheer amount of promos Aleister Black has cut,
he has to win.
I think it has to be him. But I would be great walking away with a draw.
So, bold prediction for that. Well, I have two. One, hopefully Code Orange Kids and fucking Incendiary comes down to his theme song again. That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
But I'm going to agree with you. I think it's going to be a draw for the sake of they don't want to, bury one of them. But at the same time, they kind of want to go to that callback of AEW when it was Cody and Darby Allin going for the draw.
Yeah.
And when's the last time we saw a fucking draw in WWE?
Shit. I don't think I've ever...
A double count out,
ever seen
it. Not double count out, but like double, like... They're on the floor.
They're on the floor, like,
10,
counting 10. I think it's going to be a draw. That's my bold prediction for it.
I would go 110% Aleister Black. That's my guy. All in on him. I want to see him whoop Cesaro's ass. Bury him.
It's funny because Cesaro back in, 2-3 years ago, everyone was pushing for him. And I still think he's a great performer.
I think he's a great performer, too. I love Aleister Black. That's my guy.
Now that he's out of the bar, I'm more stoked.
I'm riding him.
Yeah. All right, so next we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We have Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the New Day versus Heavy Machinery. I'm going all heavy machinery all day, all night, dude. I love this tag team. In NXT, I was not that big of a fan of them, but I've seen them on the main roster, and they've done some not only great spots, but they've also just like they started out kind of weird. And it was like, what the fuck is...
And then somehow they just drag you into it. You love watching what they're going to put out every week.
Even though I'm vegetarian, man, I'm all about steaks and... what is it? Steaks and weights or whatever the fuck it is.
Steaks and weights.
Steaks and weights, yes.
I'm going to say Daniel Bryan and Rowan remain champion only because it's going to set up something for SummerSlam.
Ooh,
where Heavy Machinery might win at SummerSlam.
And honestly, I want Heavy Machinery to win. But I don't, like Matt said, I really don't think right now is the right time for them. Because if they win now, who is their competition? Who is as big as them? Who is better than them?
It would be a rematch with Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
So, I mean, I'll be happy with just a good match.
Yeah.
Just a good, hard-fought match.
And then going next, we have the Raw Tag Team Championship. The Revival, who are the championships, defending against the Usos. I'm going to go Revival. No doubt. They're trying to keep... I love the Revival, but they're going to just fucking keep the belts on them just for the sake of resign, don't go to AEW.
Yeah, and with their involvement with Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre and kind of like this new, the corporation kind of thing, or the authority or whatever, you want to put the people in charge and call them. They're kind of siding with the people who make decisions, and I think the Revival will become victorious in this match by something that's not going to be legal or...
There you go. That's what I was waiting for.
They're gonna bend the rules a little bit on this one.
Then I don't think they're gonna win it clean out. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. I hope they take that shit home all day.
Yeah.
Fuck the Revival.
So you don't like the
I'm
Revival at
against the whole Shane McMahon running things every single week, day in, day out.
Well, take them apart from Shane McMahon.
I can't, though. That's the problem, because you're with him, you're a part of that thing that I hate.
It's kind of, they're already tainted
Exactly.
For you.
So
yeah.
I'd like to see the Usos win. Why not?
Right,
They're fun. They bring everybody in it.
I like this gimmick they have now more than their fucking Samoan one where they come out with the face paint. I will say that.
Yeah.
And it seems like they kind of gave them, like, even with this new gimmick, let alone their, just the characters, their moveset became way better, in my opinion.
Fly high, man. Come on.
They kind of reinvented themselves not only character-wise, but moveset-wise at the same time,
Moving along, we have SmackDown Women's Championship match. Bayley, the current champion, versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in a 2-on-1 handicap match. So if Nikki Cross wins, she's on the side of Alexa Bliss, who would become the champion.
I'm going to go Nikki Cross gets the pin, and then kind of plays into Raw, and it goes, well, Alexa, I got the pin for you, so I could have been champion for you. That's going to be that kind of thing, and it's going to lead into SummerSlam where they have their big blowout and a championship
They
match.
have to. I can't see another match. I think Bayley's reign of champ is over.
Yeah.
I can't see her keeping it. You can only fight one person for so long.
I think Bayley's winning.
But you
Really?
fight one person for so long. How much can you play it out?
And maybe Sasha Banks will come back.
Why-
If that's the case,
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
So why do you think Bayley's going to win, though? Is it kind of a storyline kind of thing, or...
Yeah, I think, they're going to show her as the poor girl who's getting beat up and,
The bully
2-on-1. Alexa Bliss being somewhat of a bully to her and manipulating Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Or somehow manipulating Nikki Cross to, go against Alexa Bliss. Somehow Bayley's going to walk away with the championship. You can't have SummerSlam not have a big match happening. And I think
a blowout or a fallout kind of, matchup, yeah. Well, it could be one of the things where, Bayley or, whichever woman won wins, obviously Dolph Ziggler's going to come out and say it should have been him, so, we'll see.
If Bayley wins, Dolph comes out.
It should have been me!
We need a clip of that and just play it.
Yeah, I know. We need to get some, fucking soundboards up, just, at random. Well, how it should have been me and just like Collin saying, "Sonny kiss his ass." All right, so what we got next? We have Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in a last man standing match.
Love it. Honestly, it's probably the best thing they could have done.
That's gonna have Paul Heyman written all the fuck over
Yes, it
What do
is.
you think, Matt?
Braun Strowman, I almost want another draw. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to 2 draws on one match.
Just them beating the brakes off of each other.
Yeah, something.
They both go
but
through the ring.
I think Braun Strowman not showing up on Raw, taking a picture with George Bush, and
Hot take.
Very
hot take.
I mean,
Bobby Lashley only cutting a promo and saying that he was the last man standing. That Braun Strowman, he needs this win. He needs the win, and more than anybody.
I mean, dude, you beat up Rey Mysterio. Come on, how hard are you, bro?
The
Come on,
evildoers put you through that Totentron. Now watch this drive.
Dude, you weigh 300 pounds. I mean,
you
you're
think-
beating up on a little.
Do you
Come
think Braun
on.
Strowman's gonna win?
I mean, I would like to see Braun Strowman win. I'm not mad at whoever does win, because I think that would be my prediction. That's going to be the best match of the night.
I'm gonna go.
I hope.
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with Braun because I think he's like gonna come back, like the whole injury angle and everything, and just fucking kick the shit out of Lashley. And like right at the end, he says my favorite George Bush quote, which is, "You're working hard to put food on your family.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice."
No, the saying.
United States Championship match: Ricochet versus AJ Styles.
I'm going Styles.
I think Ricochet will win, and maybe something will get set up bigger for SummerSlam. Alex thinks AJ Styles will win.
I'm going full Styles. I think it's gonna be the whole kind of them setting up the club to be the next big faction on Raw kind of deal.
And who knows? Maybe Finn Balor will get involved too, as a member of the former Bullet Club, and who knows what this club in WWE is going to consist of.
See, that would be kind of a cool angle. I think at the same time, like, yeah, I mean, we all kind of want to see Finn turn heel. I mean, if you look at his stuff in New Japan when he was Prince Devitt, him as a fucking heel was awesome, man. It was just great.
Yep, and I feel like they're afraid to turn some people heel sometimes, and I don't know. I would like to see it once in a while. It's just like, even heels can be over though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at The Miz.
And look at
He's
The
still
Miz,
over,
Adam Cole,
Baby.
all Undisputed Era. They're all heels, but they're all over as fuck.
Yeah.
They're the best people on.
Stone Cold.
Well, he's
anti-hero.
kind of the anti-hero kind of deal. So, Colin, who do you have for this match? We have the United States Championship, Ricochet, the champion, defending against AJ Styles.
Got to give it to Ricochet.
Really?
Have to.
I think you're the only one that out of all three of us.
I said Ricochet too.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry. I'm drinking Narragansett Shandy's.
Shout out. That's a plug.
With the
We're
shot of
waiting for our
JR's barbecue.
sponsorship.
With a shot of green tea JR's barbecue sauce.
No, you got to give it to Ricochet. I think he's come a long way to get to where he is.
Yeah.
He's not going to let it end on just one pay-per-view event.
His first WWE championship.
Not gonna, and that
Not
was a
including
fluke
his NXT
when AJ
North American title.
when
In the
AJ
annals of history.
when AJ pinned him. It was a fluke. I think if it's just them 1-on-1, Ricochet has the agility, the style to outwork him. So
All right, Roman Reigns and The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. It ain't no holds barred match.
let me be the first to say, let Undertaker go on a good note. Obviously,
you
it's
think
not
Undertaker-
going to
so you're
happen.
gonna say Undertaker's gonna win?
I mean, I think so. Yeah, there's only so much of Shane and Drew we can see continuously. Maybe not so much Drew, because honestly, I like Drew. Great, but Shane McMahon, I just can't. You cannot give him the win over and over and over again. So
He's the best
for
in
that-
the world, though.
He's the best in fucking nobody's world. Give it to Roman.
In Saudi Arabia as
Give
well.
it to
He's
the
best in world.
Undertaker. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think with Shane McMahon, he's been winning by flukes and random shenanigans to let him win. I do think that Roman Reigns and Undertaker will stop all of that. And this no holds barred is going to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe we'll see some chairs and some other stuff come into play here. I've never really seen Roman Reigns in one of those hardcore kind of style matches. Obviously, Undertaker and Shane McMahon have been in a lot of them, and Drew McIntyre maybe in the Indies and some other earlier WWE stuff, but not really. Hopefully, this is Extreme Rules. This is the one of the only hardcore style matches on here. There's only another one.
Yeah, I'm going Goldberg on this one. I'm going
Goldberg's
full.
coming out.
He's gonna fucking take Undertaker and just put him in a knee bar, for sure.
I would love it. That would be better than the actual match.
I think for my prediction, I'm gonna go with. I mean, come on, it's the Undertaker. It's gonna be him.
Has to.
I mean, it has to be. It's gonna be kind of the nail in the coffin. No pun intended, but I think this is gonna be the end of the whole Shane McMahon kind of ruining everything on fucking the Roman reign of everything.
Reign.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have the WWE Championship. We have Kofi King.
Who?
JR's barbecue sauce defending. No, excuse me. So we have Kofi Kingston. Oh, Jesus Christ. Kofi Kingston defending against Samoa Joe. I don't know if this match is going to happen because we all know Kofi is, rumored to be injured. But if this...
he is...
What is he injured on? What is the dirt sheet saying? Does anybody know? I mean, I kind of haven't been keeping up with it this week.
I haven't either. I didn't even know he was injured. That was the first I was hearing about it. Was from you.
Last time I heard, the rumor was he had some JR's barbecue sauce and someone put a fucking cyanide pill in it. And
unfortunate, very unfortunate news.
But guys, this is what we call a bad joke on Al's part.
Yeah. So according to Bleacher Report,
what we got on Bleacher Report? Caleb Braxton, though.
Yep.
My wife.
Fire.
He was unable to wrestle
Fire.
at a live event. He hurt himself at a live event.
Oh, it was a live event. Wow. That sucks.
But I mean, I'm not mad about that because how long are you gonna have him win against these guys who are so much bigger than him? Take it out of agility, and I think somebody's got to stop him.
Yeah.
Who better to be
than fucking Samoa Joe? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
he's dealing with back issues, and I think if we can see it on here on Bleacher Report that the reporting back issues are expected. Maybe they work the back a little bit, and Samoa Joe does. That's what he's going to target.
Samoa Joe wins the title and Brock comes out.
I would love for Samoa Joe to be a fucking champion, but he's got, as much as a great heel as he is, he's got to turn it up to fucking 11. He's already at 9, but he's got to crank it up a little bit more just for that volume. You know what I mean?
If they're going to write off Kofi Kingston for his injury, Samoa Joe will win. If he's going to somehow win because he's not that injured, then Kofi Kingston remains the champion.
Even if they wrote off Kofi Kingston to give him some time to rest for his injury, how cool would it be if the selling point would be okay. So anyways, I got that out. Imagine this, so we take Kofi's injured, he's gonna do this one last match and get some time off, kinda like Johnny Gargano did. Imagine if it's he takes out Kofi, wins the championship, which is a fucking shocker, and everyone's like, oh shit. But he does nothing but attack the New Day, Big E and Xavier for maybe a month until he's fully rested and he just comes back and wins that championship. I think that would be a good angle at best, but at the same time, I think it would be super interesting to just watch Samoa Joe because his heel work, you look at him with AJ Styles, that shit was fucking awesome, especially his promos at the same time.
I don't know. I think I would personally, like I said before, I would like to see Samoa win it. And then Brock come out, take it right back from him.
Oh shit! And then that's
Cash
time.
in.
That's time
Cash
for
in
Kofi
right
to
there. Obviously,
rest up at the same
everybody
time,
the way that it's been played out is that Brock is gunning for Seth. Obviously, he beat him at WrestleMania. He wants the belt back, but Kofi, you could tell, is the one who's least worried about Brock.
Yeah.
So 1, you're battling an injury. 2, you're versing fucking Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Beast, just a beast in himself. let Samoa
That's a fucking interesting
take out
angle, man.
Coffee, and then fucking have Brock come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Kofi Kingston has the New Day
Yeah,
that can back him up if Brock Lesnar comes out.
I mean, we have the Beast Incarnate, but he can't go up against the fucking Aunt Jemima's pancakes, guys. I mean, let's be honest. So moving
and I
along,
realized I said Coffee. Kofi. That's just my Long Island coming
Kofi
out.
Kingston. So moving along, we have the which is potentially the main event of the night, which is Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Winner takes all. I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I mean, it's just bar none. Matt is ripping a Juul right now. I'm pretty sure he's gonna puke in about 10 minutes.
False.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, Matt just ripped a Juul full of JR's barbecue sauce. He's got mesquite in his teeth, and we don't know where the fuck this interview's going.
He's twerking just like Sonny Kiss.
That's a twerk salt, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta go with Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch.
Do you?
I'm gonna go with that.
Why? Turn everything on.
'Cause
Like you
how-
said, turn it to 11. Give it to the heels. Let's turn everything on its fucking head.
No, fuck that, because you want to know something?
I
No.
want Baron Corbin to win and Lacey Evans to win. But
Why?
I want to see
Why
something.
not?
I want to see something different, and I
Exactly.
But the reason why I would want Baron Corbin to win is because I want Brock Lesnar to come out and cash in on him immediately. Lacey Evans,
Well, we
I
were
can
talking
accept.
about that,
Lacey
about,
Evans, I can accept
Kofi
as a women's
Kingston, too.
champion and boast, and she's a great heel, and she could do good promo work. Obviously she's still kind of learning. It wasn't very long in NXT, but if just Lacey Evans as a heel boasting about having the title and being the number one woman on the roster,
Yeah.
maybe that's when Sasha comes back. Maybe you set up something bigger for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No,
I think
like I said, I would like to see it
Seth
happen.
Rollins and Becky
It's
are gonna
definitely
win.
not going to happen.
Well, I think of it in the standpoint of the company where it's like if you have Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans as their main, 'cause they're on Raw. They're Raw Superstars Universal Championships, kind of, more prestigious at this point than the WWE Championship, which is fucking bullshit. But that's, when they go to house shows and shit, that's not going to put asses in seats. I'm thinking of it as a, kind of a company standpoint, but that's just me, so... I don't know. So moving along, getting done with that with our predictions, we move on to what we watched tonight. We did our live stream tonight for AEW's Fight for the Fallen. This was fun as fuck to watch.
Great.
I enjoyed it. We gave it a B+ overall, but you know what?
Which I think
B+
could-
is still fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's
because honestly,
awesome.
I think the product was probably, if you look back on it, it's definitely up there in the A's.
Yeah. It's one of the things where even right now
Well, I
we're
gave
kind
it
of
an
like,
A.
we might go A-, B+ around there,
If you're going off of my score, I gave it an A-.
And we're not far behind you. B+ is
B+.
A-, where the gray area.
We're all in that ballpark of like B+, A-. So
Yeah.
overall, it was a
Yeah,
fucking
and I think
4 out
our
of 5.
number scores play a bigger factor in the letter grade. All right, so my number score for the night overall was a 90.35 out of 100. So I mean, if you think about 90 on a test, you're satisfied. You're happy.
Yeah.
You're happy with what you got. And Collin, you gave it a solid 89, and Alex, you gave it an 88.55, which if I was leaving a test and
If we're gonna round it up, it's gonna be 89.
Backwards,
So,
yeah. I think you could say we both gave it an
So-
89,
so-
which is, 1 point
1
off
point
of you.
off. So we're all in the ballpark of like it was fun as fuck to watch.
Yeah.
Obviously.
100%.
So starting off, we had Sonny Kiss versus Peter Avalon.
Fuck that. No
That's the first thing he comes.
100 and fucking 1,000,000% in. Sonny Kiss killed it.
I mean, obviously, this was better than Omega Okada 3. No, but it was a good way to start it off. It definitely is one of those, you start the pre-shows, you want to start it off with something that's not over excited and over like holy shit. It was a good match, kind of the crowd kind of warmed up, which is what we all look for. And quite honestly, as much as we're joking about Sonny Kiss, obviously we're joking about the fact of everyone was homophobic about Tommy Dreamer, took him, the ass to the face when he did it for fucking Rikishi and everything. But this was a good match, and Sonny Kiss and I actually, and also Peter Avalon at the same time for me too. I gave it an 80 because they actually impressed me a lot because it was the first time we saw them kind of one-on-one with everything,
Yeah, I gave it a 88. No, sorry, I gave it a 78.
I was about to say 88. Jesus Christ, Penta wasn't in that shit.
Yeah.
Which isn't far off from an 80.
No, and
Pretty close, yeah.
there's just minor things that I might have lost my interest in little parts, and maybe the build-up wasn't where
I think that's what it was. It wasn't
stipulations weren't there.
nothing so much to the
was
wrestlers themselves.
Yeah, it was a good wrestling match, but just like, a wrestling match could be really good, but some story could be a big key in things as well.
Yeah, definitely. Collin, your thoughts?
And I gave it 1 point below Matt with a 77, which we could all argue. We all round up basically to an 80.
We're all in the ballpark.
I think it was a great way to start the night.
Yeah.
Two great wrestlers. They killed it, honestly. Like you said, shocked to see Peter's
Avalon hold
ability.
his own. Yeah.
And Sonny obviously just fucking took it to the end.
Yeah,
Killed
and I
it.
feel like
Twerk salt for the win.
Twerk salt for the win,
What else
baby.
can you ask for in a match? I mean, come on.
And I think maybe
Shawn Michaels on the fucking night.
maybe they will lead to something with Peter Avalon and Leva Bates maybe feuding against each other.
How so?
I don't know. I feel like she's
Because Leva really didn't help out to the effect that
Yeah, she
Peter
didn't help
thought he
out the
would.
way that a manager should. Kind of let him down pretty much, and threw Sonny back in the ring when he didn't want that.
gently.
Yeah, it was a strange thing, and maybe they'll complain to each other about who's the best librarian or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, was the next match in the pre-show the women's match, or
It was.
It was. Yes, I gave this an 88. I loved it. I love them bringing in the girls from overseas. Britt Baker, obviously, great worker, and then we had how did you say her name? Bo Presley. I can't really see the screen. Bo Priestley. Both great workers. Bo definitely was the standout out of all of them. But I love how they're bringing these girls from overseas, especially Rio. I've been, ever since Double or Nothing, I've been high on her for sure. This was just so fun to watch. I mean, you look at the women's division in WWE, and it's good. It's all right. It's pretty good. And, they're getting there more, but it's kind of being detrimental a little bit with how they're booking them creatively. They're just letting these girls go out and fucking play their music.
I think that's
totally great.
That's the biggest part of it. Is these girls in the women's division of AEW are just outshining. They're letting them do their thing. They're creating storyline, and I think that's what all of our scores boiled down to. I mean, I gave it an 83. Right, 83. Yeah, so it's a solid B. It was great. I mean, they all killed it.
I gave it the lowest of everybody.
Excuse me. I gave that a which
85, not an 80.
Oh, okay. I gave it 85. Yep.
85, 83. You guys are pretty much the same.
Yep. And then you gave it a 75, and I remember you talking about it on the live stream, but I forgot. So, what was your thoughts on it? Because you gave it like a way lower score than us, especially in the 70s.
There's a lot of production stuff that was bothering me too. That kind of interfered with my.
Oh, that's when the
match.
closed caption problem was going on.
Britt Baker messing up who her partner was a big.
That was pretty funny.
That deducted a lot of points for me.
How do you
They're both
do
wearing
that?
white.
She went to the wrong. First of all, she went to the wrong side of the ring.
Talk about it. I mean, the real problem. Everybody knows what it was. Nobody wanted to speak on it.
Say what it was.
On air.
Yeah. We won't, but we kind of know that it's like.
It's cringy. It's cringy.
It's cringy.
Is what it is.
Not that it's not like she made a fucking it's not bad on her at all. Sometimes just get confused.
But yeah, and so on top of that, and kind of the wrestling between Priestley and Baker and a lot of the other wrestlers was really good. I am looking forward to seeing more of Priestley. I want to see what she can do. And
Well, the best part was her bringing up them showing the rivalry that will be Britt and Priestley. That's going to be awesome.
After the match,
that's definitely going to be like,
great.
if they have a tournament for the women's match, that's definitely going to be like a key highlight, building up to that for sure. So then after that, the first match of the night, we had Joey Janela, Jimmy Havoc, and Darby Allin versus Shawn Spears. And then, who else was on the team? MJF. How am I forgetting this? I'm trying to read the Google Docs sheet right now. And then Sammy Guevara. I gave this match an 88. I thought it was fun. It had a lot of good spots in it. It was just overall a good way to kick off the main show as it is. Giving it a good 88. I know Matt gave it an 88 as well. Your thoughts on it, man?
It was a really good, fun match, and it definitely highlights a lot of the strengths of some of these individuals in the match. I thought the storytelling with MJF and Shawn Spears being on the same team, and MJF being a friend of Cody Rhodes, or Cody, whatever.
Cody Rhodes. I say Cody Rhodes, yeah.
And that the chair shot to him, and just the storyline between them being on the same team, I thought was told really well. And
yeah, it was on point for sure tonight.
Yeah, and I definitely liked... just the wrestling was smooth, and everybody got to do all their big highlights and everything like that. And it was fun, and I didn't want it to end.
And I think that's why it leads to a 90
for
me.
You broke out the first 90 of the night within that match.
That match was just awesome. Obviously, all 6 of those guys are just awesome wrestlers.
Yeah.
We said it before, we're all huge on Joey Janela.
Yeah.
Loved it. Jimmy Havoc. Whatever you want to call him, 40-year-old dude stuck in his emo phase.
Man stuck in his fucking AFI
King of the death
phase.
match. Awesome.
But you know what's funny is the whole time when the match was going on, the first half at least, I remember, Collin, you and I were like, no, this Sammy guy, I don't like his gimmick. We were like, this is so
don't
whatever.
like him.
But then he had that kind of halfway through mark where he had just his sequence. And you and I on the live stream were like, holy fuck, this guy can hold his own. Holy shit. And after that, I will say I'm a Sammy fan after that, for sure.
Definitely.
He was great after that.
So low on him, and seeing him fly high, he was just kicking ass for a good, maybe 5 minutes. And we looked at each other, we were like, all right, we're in on this dude.
Yeah, we're all in on him.
That's why I got the first 90 for the night from me.
All in.
We're all in. You know what else I'm all in on is JR's barbecue sauce. Get it now wherever barbecue sauce is sold online.
Additionally, we have the Dark Order in their first AEW match.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
Versus
so good.
Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
Matt giving this a 92. Explain why. Definitely in the 90s for me as well. I know you gave it the highest score, which was a 92. Your thoughts, man? I mean, it seems like you really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it was. I did not want to look away from this match, and Jungle Boy being all flashy and doing the things that he does, but in a very modest way. I really appreciate the Dark Order.
They were the standouts for me in this match.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect from them. I'd never seen any of these guys wrestle before. I was a little weirded out by their entrance and stuff, and I'm surprised none of the other guys got involved. But, like, that big dude, what was his name?
I don't
Evil
even remember.
Uno? Was that it?
Something, I think that sounds very familiar. Well, Jimmy, pull that shit up.
Yeah, I just want to verify what
We're pulling it up. You know what I will say, though, is, they had, for the Dark Order, some fucking great spots tonight. And it was weird because when they came out at Double or Nothing, everyone was like, who the fuck are these guys? And I remember, Collin, you were saying how you loved that whole kind of spot they do where it's like the throne thing with the druids, if you want to call them druids, everything like that.
The creepers, that's what
creepers.
I love that name.
Yes, honestly, I enjoyed the hell out of this match. It was just all good, and we're gonna find out this guy's name right now. Hopefully, it's not Sin Cara and he gained 150 pounds in 6 months. Oh man,
Nice.
Hey,
A plus. That was an A plus.
that was an A minus. That was a 90. So we had
Evil Uno.
Evil Uno.
That was right.
And
Evil
Stu
Uno.
Grayson.
He is a Canadian professional wrestler.
Really?
Yeah, he's for a bigger fella. I was pretty
Impressed with his.
impressed.
He was going on the top rope a couple times too, so you could tell he's got some agility at the same time. So hell yeah.
I really enjoyed watching them, and I predicted that they would come out with the victory. You know, just the things that they did with their thing of double or nothing, and Fighter Fest. Try not to mess it up this time.
Yeah, you got it this time. Yeah.
Had to think about
With the lights off, I just the anticipation of building up of who these people are. I think they're going to play a much bigger role in the tag team, and I'm looking forward to having that as a nice heel team that all these other tag teams have to face and deal with. I mean, then I think eventually it's going to go even deeper, and they're gonna fuck with the Young Bucks, and they're gonna fuck with,
Yeah.
Cody and Dustin, and see these guys trying to play a much bigger role in that tag team division.
Everybody.
And I think that's why they
they'll
needed to
fuck
win.
with everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're capable of. They have
And-
all those people with them.
I'm not discrediting Angelico and Jack Evans. They did a really phenomenal job as well.
They
I
had
look
some
forward to
really
seeing
good
more.
double team spots. At
Don't
the
like
same
their
time, yeah.
outfits, but the neon kind of bothers me.
Yeah, every time I see them, I just think of like fucking like Poison's greatest hits. I like Target for like $5.99 on sale.
Just when's the guitar solo coming?
Yeah, Cece, play up that guitar and talk to me.
But
So-
I think that's why I gave it a what did I give it? I gave it an 89. Yeah, 89.
89, yeah.
And I was only lower than both of you, not reaching the 90s because of my distaste for the three-way tag, which we kind of talked about on the live stream. I think they all killed it. Everybody did a great job. I think the Dark Order versus the Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus would have been probably just a tad bit better for me.
Yeah, just
to
like
see them
them
guys
alone.
go at it on their
Yeah.
own.
Oh, absolutely. So then moving on, we have Brandy Rhodes versus Allie. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm actually like stoked on Brandy finally getting her first singles match. It was
Yeah.
we all rated it in the mid 70s and everything, but
Yeah.
I honestly thought for her, I was like, good for her. Like
I thought
she
this
actually worked her
match
asses
kinda
off.
fell short though. I was expecting a lot watching the road to fight for the Fallen, and I was really looking forward to seeing her back in the ring, and I just don't think it met my expectations of what I was looking for.
How so? What were you expecting? Saying that.
Yeah, I would have liked a more non-involved match with.
Awesome Kong.
Yeah, I was gonna say Karma, but
Karma.
Awesome Kong. I would have liked just not leave her, not let her be there initially, and maybe have her come in after.
See, I thought it was good she came out and kind of did that whole kind of being by Brandy's side to kind of like build up Brandy more.
But I felt like it took away from Brandy's skills and abilities to actually win a match.
That's funny because I think that was the best part of the match. I think Allie herself, I think she fell a little flat. I think some of the stuff that was coming off was kind of sloppy, like you said before. You have
I'm all in on Allie.
the
100%.
you have the road to Fight for the Fallen, where you see them coming into themselves, their characters really building it up, and I think kind of their match just fell a little flat for me. So I think the best part of it was not only Brandy bringing out Kong, but then Aja coming out at the end and really setting it up for a good rivalry between two of the heaviest hitters in the women's division that AEW will have.
Yeah. Moving along, we had Adam Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian definitely took me by surprise on this one. I was not expecting him to carry himself the way he did, and I was 100% in favor of this match, and I wanted more action, and the bumps they took and the moves they did to each other I thought were phenomenal, and I gave this match an 88. Putting it out there is a pretty solid match, and part of me not giving it a 90 or above is I knew Hangman was going to win. I talked about it last week. I don't think that you're going to make Hangman lose any match leading up to his title match against Chris Jericho, and
They're going to build him up a lot for sure.
He's obviously, you can't have that person who's supposed to be the number one contender lose matches. But what I did like about this match is that it puts Kip Sabian in a point where I think that he's going to be in the contender, a contender for a championship. Whatever championship it is, he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And be a threat to that division. And he proved himself tonight. I hope to see more of him. I hope that they add Penelope Ford as his manager, and hopefully she can contribute to some of
his real life
antics.
Girlfriend, Penelope Cruz, or Ford. Oh, Penelope Cruz.
Great.
They're gonna do a whole Seth Rollins.
I mean, they did it with Joey Janela when they were at All In, and I would like to see more of that with her, with Kip Sabian, since we all look at social media, we all know who she's dating, we all know that they're dating each other, and they're. Why not utilize that?
There was one thing that you said that really speaks the most volume to this whole match is that, like I said on our live stream, is that we really don't know what Kip is capable of. So, setting up for AEW and all the titles that they may or may not have, you're giving Kip basically his own footing, his own ground to be able to be in.
I guess.
Exactly.
He's going to be in contention for maybe say some of those belts they may have. So I mean, I gave it an 85, solid 85. I mean, you're in between a B and a B plus because there was nothing wrong with the match. But yeah,
but also at the same time we have to talk about how Jericho came in at the end, masked up, but we all knew it was him because he was wearing a
dressed up as one of the Dark Order's
I mean, he
creepers.
was definitely wearing a small when he should have been a large.
It was a medium.
The ending was fantastic with Chris Jericho coming out and
busting him open. I mean, that fucking bruise.
You see,
Chris Jericho has a knack for dressing up as other people with masks, and he did it again tonight. Did it to Kenny Omega.
Was that
All In?
See, I would have loved it if he took off the mask and it was just Vince. Like, it was me, Hangman, it was me, Austin.
He didn't say. I thought that was Jericho with the live mic. I thought that was going to be it. I didn't think we were going to see him again, but we do see him later.
But then him coming out in quote-unquote full gear later was fucking awesome.
What would you have done if Jericho came out as Doink the Clown? No?
Well, I think WWE owns the rights to Doink the Clown, so...
I would have loved to see him come out as Muhammad Hassan with all this fucking terrorist fucking...
I would have liked to see him come out as Sonny Kiss's ass. It just would have been great.
Tell us more, Collin.
All jokes aside.
Twerk salt.
Give us more.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I don't know. Where do you go from that? How do you go from a twerk to anything else?
I guess we'll go back into the SoCal Uncensored versus the Lucha Bros. This was the highest rated match of the night from all of us. I gave this a 95. I knew this was going to steal the show. I just knew it right away. I've always said, anytime you get the Lucha Bros on an AEW show, whether it be Penta, Phoenix together, or just, Penta by himself with Kenny Omega, it's going to steal the show. 95 all the way. It just was fun as fuck to watch. All the spots. You had some spots that looked they were super stiff. Everyone in the crowd going, oh shit. Then it's us in, Matt's apartment going, oh shit too, like out loud. It was just so fun to watch, and I knew it was going to steal the show. Matt also gave it a 95. Collin gave it a 97. Guys, your thoughts?
Matt, you want to speak first? I'll go. I mean, 97, I gave it the highest out of the whole night. Just because we sat down before we watched it, and we said, what do you think is going to be the best match of the night? And me and Alex looked at each other and we were like, anything that involves the Lucha Brothers is going to be just insane.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The whole match itself was an A-plus match. You cannot deny any of those guys' abilities. SCU, Lucha Bros, it had everything that you could have asked for out of a match. But I think
that
even
5-minute spot where they were just like kind of mocking
the
each
flaunt
other.
off, it was great.
You look at that, like in WWE, that would be terrible, but this was just
they just make
fun.
it work so well with each other.
Absolutely.
Even better than the match itself and these guys' wrestling capabilities is the ending.
Yeah.
We get the Lucha Bros getting Craig Daniels?
Christopher Daniels.
Craig Daniels. Coming back out, and the Lucha Bros turning on him with a ladder. Yeah. And then they proceed to beat up SCU, climb to the top of the ladder, give their little promo on themselves, And now we have a setup for it All Out. We have Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks in a ladder match.
Absolutely.
That's
we can only assume will be for
the
those
tag titles. Yeah. Matt, you gave this match a 97, which was, out of all of us, the highest ranked match of the night.
no,
Colin gave it a 97. I gave it a 95
Colin gave it a
as
97.
well.
Excuse me. I mean, Matt, your thoughts, giving it a 95 the same as me. It seemed like we all enjoyed this match a lot. And I want to ask you, do you think this was the match of the night? Because it seems like it's out of all of it, it's the highest rated. So I would assume so. No, you gave the Kenny Omega match the highest one out of all of them, but it seems like this one for you, also for collectively for all three of us, was amazing at the same time.
Yeah, and it was, we talk about AEW and tag team division, and
we had a big discussion on that in the live stream. Yeah,
how we think that it's going to be a crucial role for AEW and making sure that it's well known that tag team titles are treated with respect, and tag team division will stand out the way it should be, and they will hopefully main event and be the headlines of certain pay-per-views.
I mean, when's the last time we saw a tag title match main event pay-per-view? It's been a long time.
It was tonight with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, but
for tag titles, I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean by that, but SoCal, they did their thing, and I like the involvement of Christopher Daniels. I like the ref didn't disqualify them because he hit them.
The referee
because they hit him
rule.
First, and then eventually he kicked him out and was like, "You gotta go."
Yeah, that makes it so interesting for this whole promotion at the same time.
And I thought that was cool. Like Christopher Daniels was like, "What the hell? Like they hit me," and then eventually whatever he got kicked out. But then
what the flip, Gordon, man?
Like the flashy moves and the flaunting at each other, it all worked perfectly in terms of like old school wrestling, and they do a really good balance of the things that worked in the past, and what we like about present day wrestling.
Well, it's one of the things where when Dustin was on the Jericho podcast, he was like, you know what, like, he's like, I love the new school, but at the same time, these guys in AEW, they're taking these lessons from the past and bringing it into our day,
Which he says, what did he say? He said there is no new school.
Exactly.
It's just old school.
He said there's no new school without the old school.
Exactly.
And you look at a match like this where it's so,
it touched on it 100%.
Exactly. Like the 5-minute flaunt, that was, that's the old school where it's like, showing off everything and having fun with it. So it was just a fun fucking match, man.
So
Absolutely.
what is AEW doing differently than WWE with their tag teams that makes AEW so much more just
giving them time?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think it's
no
that.
2 out of 3 falls count all the time, and
letting
them have the creative freedom to do what they want.
Right there.
No Shane McMahon. Yeah.
Shane McMahon's not involved, and
I think it's also the same time where you look at a lot of tag teams in WWE where there's only one guy. Like you look at the New Day, it's always Big E and Kofi, and then maybe once in a while you'll get Xavier. AEW is giving these guys all the time in the world. It's what Cody always says. He goes, "Go out there and play your music. I'm not going to tell you how to play your music." You know what I mean? And you can see from this tag team division that they have in AEW, he's just being like, you know what, man? Have fun. Go do your thing. You know what the crowd's going to like. You know what the crowd's going to expect from you guys. Go and do it. And I think that's what they're doing differently with this tag team division. And obviously, even just Cody saying that, we all know the Young Bucks, with all their interviews, are saying we want the tag team division to be the forefront. We want to make that the main event. And it's been showing, obviously, with the past.
Well, I think it's interesting because you have the Young Bucks who are a tag team. That is what they do. And that was like the Hardy Boys for many years. Like you couldn't picture them not being. I can't picture Nick Jackson or Matt Jackson doing a solo run. It's just if I look at that group, I'm like,
They need each other. They need each other to function.
Yeah, and that's what's so important about this tag team division in AEW, and I really hope that they keep continuing to push. The tag teams make the effort to be like, we're the best. We're the best. Like in competition among the company itself, we're the best in this company.
Yeah.
And then you have the solo guys like Chris Jericho, Hangman Page, and they're doing their thing, and they're like, well, we're the best. Because if they keep doing that, then it's up to us as fans to be like, what was the best part of what we watched? And some people like tag team wrestling, some people don't. And
that's the thing, though, is some people do, some people don't. But I think when people watch AEW, they're gonna like it regardless. I mean, there was not one bad tag match on this card, and we were talking about on the live stream. It was pretty much split down the middle of singles matches and then tag team matches, and this was just. I don't know, man. This match,
A+. It was just an A+ match.
It was an A+ match, absolutely, for sure. But then that leads us into. We're talking about Chris Jericho with his mic and everything and letting them play their music. This comes before it. We have Kenny Omega versus Shima. This match, for me, I loved a lot because when I saw Shima go against Christopher Daniels, the last, event they had, was not a fan of it. Definitely both great workers. But this match for tonight for me was awesome. I mean, those stiff fucking knees he was doing against Kenny Omega. I mean, we talk about that one spot, that narrow-ass table when he hit him.
Brutalized. Yeah. They just killed each other.
My first initial thought was he knocked him out. I was like, holy shit. And that was the thing, he kept doing the whole, psychology angle the whole night, just do the knees the whole night. It was fucking great for me. I gave it a 92, an A- for sure. I mean, just overall great. Matt, you give it a 97, so that's pretty much almost a 5-star review for you. I mean, explain your thoughts on it. I mean, I know you were loving this match a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big Kenny Omega fan, and I like everything he does, whether it's tag team or it's singles matches. The way he sells everything, they work in that the injury to the face, seeing his back in the last part of the stream event. I don't know what to call them anymore if they're not pay-per-views, but the brutal. It was a battle.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of advantages for certain people, for certain individuals in this match. Like Shima had his advantage at a certain point. Kenny Omega eventually overcame and was able to get back and fight and do what he had to do to win. But what I like a lot is the back and forth was really good. The showing that Kenny Omega can be damaged. I mean, we already know that he can lose. He lost to Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
But he can take a hell of a beating. And he can sell. And frankly, I don't even know if he was selling because I think that was real when he really hurt his face.
He got fucked up from those knees, dude. Yeah.
Looking at those knees. Everything collided.
And those fucking guys, when it comes to, Oriental, what is it, OWE? Is that the proper terminology for the promotion? Well, those guys in Asia, would it be, the guys from China or New Japan?
Oriental Wrestling Entertainment.
Okay, so OEW, oh god damn it, the Shandy episode. OWE, those guys, even the whole New Japan style, they call it strong style, everything. Those guys, they go stiff, and we could obviously see that tonight when against him with the Omega, and it was just, for me, this match was fucking awesome because I was not expecting a lot from Shima, especially coming from
what we saw in his last out.
Yeah, and it wasn't bad. It was just one of those things where
they didn't put him over as well as he should have been.
And that's what the thing was. They didn't put him over as well, and then it kind of was, somewhat of a dull match with Christopher Daniels. But then this match, they were like, you know what? Like we were talking about during the live stream, we were like, yo, Kenny Omega is like AJ Styles. He can make anybody look great and sell the match great. And he definitely did that tonight for me, and it was just awesome, bar none. Collin, your thoughts?
I gave it a 95, which is halfway. You're in between an A+. And I think the biggest
we're all in the
thing,
A's for this, for
definitely.
sure.
I think the biggest thing that you guys didn't touch on just before is Kenny was 0-2 in singles. So he really needed this match to solidify his stance as a singles competitor. And I think this match today, it just did that.
Oh,
it did that.
absolutely.
He's up there, contention. Whether you want to put him in a tag, whether you want to put him by himself, he is a grayed out wrestler. Matt, you touched on that before in the live stream. You said, out of all the wrestlers out right now, you think he is the best, hands down. Just his style, his work, the way he puts people over. It was just great. I don't see how you could hate anything about him, Shima, this whole match.
Yep. He's, in my opinion, the greatest wrestler alive today.
Well, I remember we were talking about the live stream. You know, you were asking me who the greatest wrestler is right now, and I had a few of them going around. Then I was watching this match, and I remember saying, if you can, like, not only make yourself look great, but also make the other person look fucking phenomenal, like yourself in the meantime, you got something special. Which
you're doing something right. 95% of the people,
like I said, 95%
don't have.
Yeah, so when we were watching this match, I was like, you know what? I'm going to change my opinion. Kenny Omega is the greatest right now, and it was just, bar none, a fucking fun match to watch. I will never forget that fucking... Dude, him laying on that fucking narrow table and those knees connecting. Whether they slap the thighs or whatever, that was just a hard fucking stiff spot to take, and it was great. So we're gonna move on to we're starting to kind of like, you know, rate and grade promos now, and I think this Chris Jericho one tonight, fun as fuck, and just overall solid A from all of us.
Yeah, and Chris Jericho obviously probably has some of the most experience when it comes to doing promos and conducting promos, and I mean just overall wrestling experience in terms of anybody in AEW. Maybe him and Dustin Rhodes are up there with the most experience in this promotion.
Yeah,
and it just showed tonight completely. He came back out after he already attacked Hangman Page, laid a nice heel promo, dissing the crowd, talking shit to people.
Full gear as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just solid, entertaining. You didn't want to look away. You wanted to hear what he's going to say next. And then ultimately the Hangman came out and, you know, attacked him in a little brawl, and some people from the back had to come back and separate them. A little bit of pushing the refs and maybe punching the ref away and all that stuff. I thought it was really good storytelling, and we're going to see what's going to happen.
But what else could you expect or want from Jericho? Because I think really he didn't leave anything on the table. He put it all out there, and I think that's everything that we expected from him. That's everything that we wanted.
What do you call him, like Jack-Offsville or something?
Jack-Offville, Jerk-Offville. Everything he said, it was set it up so great.
Because I don't want to thank you for you. Sit the fuck down, Fatso. And
exactly.
I was like, yo, hell yeah.
Fighting with the audience. He nailed it. He nailed it.
It's so funny to like hear him like go from like full heel in AEW, and then he goes on the podcast and he's just like the nicest guy in the fucking world. It's so weird. But this promo for me, man, give it a 95. Matt gave it a 95. Collin a 93. Overall, just a good, solid fucking A.
Yeah. So
that's what we needed. It was funny because we talk about when he came out and attacked Hangman. We're like,
we thought that was going to be it.
We thought that was it. But when he came out, it was like, oh shit, all right, cool. We'll see where this goes. And it was just, you know, it was Cody and the Young Bucks and Tony Khan being like, here's your microphone. You know the spot at the end.
Go
when
do what you do.
That
was his thank you. That's his thank you, letting him get that spot.
Exactly.
And he doesn't want to thank you. He does not want to thank you from us.
No.
Apparently, he made that clear. He wants to thank you from probably Cody Rhodes and the
Which
other people.
isn't going to happen, so he's going to continue to kick ass, take names. He came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and he is all out of bubblegum.
And also, he's all out of JR's barbecue sauce. But, you know, you can go order that online at...
He's almost out of White Claws.
Fuck no, we're not. It's only fucking 2:45 in the morning, and I'm staying up till at least 5, so we're good. So rounding out our AEW Fight for the Fallen, we had the last match of the night, which was Cody and Dustin Rhodes, the Brotherhood, I guess we can kind of like call them that, against the Young Bucks. Good match. Good, solid match. I give it an 88. Matt giving it a 93, and then Collin agreeing with me on an 88. Matt, I kind of want to hear your thoughts because you thought this match was... We all thought the match was awesome, but you giving it a little bit higher grade than us, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I really liked the Young Bucks heelish, you know...
Antics.
Antics, yeah, that's a good word. So
That cocky attitude they got.
Cocky attitude. They've been fucking with the Rhodes brothers or whatever they're called, Runnels brothers. I thought it made Dustin look pretty good too. Shadows of Goldust.
That double shattered dreams.
Yeah, double shattered dreams. Yeah. A lot of double moves, which I thought was pretty cool. Timing might have been slightly off in a lot of them, but regardless, it's
it showed what they can do together.
To do it together is still fun and to enjoy.
Because you had the Young Bucks on Fyter Fest. They did their whole double sequence with the Lucha Bros, and I think Cody and Dustin pulling that out, that was awesome. I mean, what else could you what could you ask for? I
definitely think this match at the same time, definitely not Dustin's last match. And I definitely think that it's weird because I don't know where he's going to go after this when it comes to the AEW company. It's kind of hard to tell because I don't really want to see him have another match against Cody. But it's weird because
who does he fight? Where does he go? Where does his character develop from there?
Because I don't want to see him retire on that note. I feel like this match overall, though, I mean, we were all, kind of tired. Obviously right now we got our second win and we're fucking recording a podcast right now. But the match itself had really good spots. It was a good, solid match. And it's just weird for me because, Cody said in the last promo at Double or Nothing, you don't get to retire this way. I need you, I need my JR's barbecue. I need my older brother, excuse me. But no, I don't know where I see Dustin going from here because it kind of left on a weird note because obviously the Young Bucks won, which I thought was kind of weird because we were talking about it during the live stream and we were like, dude, Dustin's going to get the pin. He's got to get the pin.
I did not think the match was going to end the way it did.
We only have one pay-per-view left until they haven't announced anything else, right? We still have
TV to look forward to at the same time.
And then there's TV.
Yeah.
So we still have a lot to go before we figure out what's going to happen and where things are going to be headed. Right? Nothing's announced for September.
Nothing's set in stone. You know what I mean?
October, nothing's announced yet. So I think we have time to figure out what is going to happen with Dustin Rhodes and Dustin Runnels, whatever. Not Goldust. I'm not used to it.
No, well, what was his fucking name in WCW when he did that promo? 7.
Yeah,
you guys remember that? White face, and he had the fucking weird Undertaker hat, and he was just like, I fucking hate Vince Russo. Or Eric Bischoff. Yeah. But no, this match, good solid match. I enjoyed it. There were some good spots, and then we had the promo after with the Young Bucks and talking about, we heard about the Rhodes brothers, and it was great, and it got cut short. But then, of course, they come out the end, and it was the check for, the charity they're donating to. $150,000. Did not fucking expect that at all.
Definitely not.
I mean, a lot of the wrestlers contributed their own money, too.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger names.
Which she said towards the end, because they didn't even know if they were still on the air, off the air. Obviously, they were still on the air because we all watched it.
Yeah.
But just $150,000 going to such a great cause. Obviously, no person should be subjected to violence, let alone gun violence.
Yeah, I mean, it's a self-defense issue, not a fucking going after someone.
Especially in a stand-your-ground state. I think they did such a great job of pulling together the wrestling, the sports entertainment aspect of donating to a good cause.
Yeah.
And just showing how this product in All Elite is
all
doing,
inclusive. They're
doing
all in on
can.
Everybody. And it wasn't one of those things especially in today's political climate, you think of we're donating to gun violence or victims of gun violence. It wasn't politically charged. It wasn't we're going after this person or we party, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It was just them going, there's people out there who have been victimized by this. We're going to donate to them.
And we're going to help them out.
Yeah.
Every little bit that we can.
And for the Khan family, or, Tony Khan's dad, I forgot his name, Mr. Khan. So I'll call him Khan! But...
Shout.
Khan. But for that guy to donate $110,000, I mean, obviously, yeah, he has the money for that.
Yeah, that's just a drop in the hat of his little. But still, he
didn't
doesn't
come
have
out
to do that. No,
in like some character and thing. He just came out like, you know what? Like, I want to support this good cause. So for them to for them to raise $150,000, I was expecting 50,000, maybe 75,000, but 150,000. That blew
or
my
an
fucking
undisclosed amount that they did not have to show any of us.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, absolutely. And
I just hope they improve on the, when it got to that point, I wanted to hear what everyone was trying to say, and it was rushed. And it was a more production issue.
It's a great point because you could see the Young Bucks. He was in the middle of his promo, and then they dropped the music like nobody knew what. Well,
even when the
music
dropped, they were all kind of like, "Wait, what's going on?" I remember I looked at Dustin, and he was like, "Cut it!" And
he did. He said it. He said it multiple times.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's just a learning experience, and I think they had more than enough time. They still had 11:50.
Yeah, and we're in the grand scheme of things. How early on into the AEW career are we?
You're gonna have to go through these trials.
They're
and
gonna work that out.
Like that, yeah.
It's only gonna get better.
Because the thing is like we have to remember they're gonna be on national fucking TV. This is just Bleacher Report Live, which is still a big thing. But they're still learning the ins and out, and I'm sure, especially Cody's talked about this on interviews. He goes, there's a lot of people in our production crew who have worked with WWE or high production value kind of companies, but we're still trying to figure out what we want. We're not WWE. We want kind of an alternative and everything. So
the other company.
I think the unmentionables.
The main part and what I said on the live stream is that most people, the going saying is you want quality over quantity. But and AEW is giving us both. They are giving us quantity with the amount of talent that they have.
And they're giving time for everybody they have.
Exactly. And they're giving the quality. It is just a fucking all-out great company.
Like, you even look at the spot tonight where it was Private Party and then the guy in CEO.
Sitting in the seats. And you even made the airtime just worth it.
Because they want to be like, Private Party, it's like, okay, they're in the crowd, cool, but it wasn't them like, oh, wave, like, NXT TakeOver, like, but it was Ric Flair's here, and then he gives a thumbs up, and it's like, all right, back to the back with you.
Exactly. It was still kind of a work.
Yeah, them hanging out, having a fucking brew, and it wasn't Cody going, you have to get the back after. He was like, it was them going, have a good fucking time, man. Just enjoy it, you know what I mean? So, but I think that's what's good about them. It's because we've always been heard that AEW's by the boys, for the boys. And girls and
FUBU, for us, by us.
We're FUBU. We're bringing it back to '97. Tommy Hilfiger can suck my dick.
Fuck Steve Madden.
But it's I don't know, man. It's cool to see. You have to think about it. We haven't seen a company be built up from the ground up. All in front of us. I mean, we had TNA in a sense, but that was kind of a weird subset from NWA. But we're seeing something totally brand new, not branched out from anything else. It's a bunch of people going, we're going to be the alternative, but at the same time, it's huge competition.
I've never seen it. I mean, when I started, obviously young, born in 1992, WWF was still around.
Yeah.
And they had everything to work off of that they had. Going through the Monday Night Wars. I watched a little bit of WCW. I watched WWF, obviously. That was my main go-to. Then I took off so many years. I didn't really watch TNA. I didn't watch Ring of Honor. New Japan, I already said, I don't watch just because I don't have the time to watch all of that. So seeing something for which I started with right at the beginning with AEW, it's just such a fucking fun thing to be a part of,
man.
Oh,
absolutely. It's just one of those things where we've talked about it earlier between all of us. It's the most exciting time to be a fan since 20 plus years ago. We have so many. I mean, we have the Indies and we have Ring of Honor and stuff. And not to discredit them, but like to have a company where you have billionaires backing it. But not only those billionaires, you have Vince McMahon. Obviously a billionaire with WWE, but he gets the final say. And yeah, Tony Khan gets the final say, but he is also like, I want this to go this way, but why do you want it to go the other way? I want to hear you out.
Yeah. You want to hear the other side of the creative. Let the people speak for you.
So I think overall, like, this show, a good solid B+.
We gave it a B+, and I think that still doesn't even speak volumes to the product they put out, because that could easily be an A.
I gave it an A-.
I give it an A- too. We're going to change our score right now. A- for me. Matt gave it an A-.
Fuck it, we're doing it live. That's an A. All around.
I'll write it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the White Claws sponsored episode. Matt has been he took a piss about 10 seconds ago and put his head on the table. I think it's time to go. But it's been a fun night.
I gotta recuperate for Extreme Rules tomorrow. It's a very wrestling-filled weekend.
Just a big...
Well, on that note, boys, I think this is the end of it. Tomorrow night, we're going to watch Extreme Rules. Have some fun. We're going to review that the following, this coming Friday, usually what we do. And, of course, Raw, SmackDown, WWE, all that good stuff, and NXT as well. And, yeah, well, boys, this is it for tonight. And we want to thank you for watching the live stream if you did. We'll have more live streams as much as we can and all that good stuff. And, we have some potential interviews set up as we've been talking about, but that's a secret right now. We're kind of setting it up. This episode sponsored by JR's Barbecue Sauce, of course. Why would it not be? But on that note, boys, any final thoughts for the night?
I just want to start off, I'll say thank you guys. I met Alex, 2 days ago? Awesome. Great dude. Already knew as soon as he walked in.
18 hours ago.
Yeah, as soon as he walked into Matt's apartment, I was like, damn, I know I could be cool with this dude. We're friends. Matt, I want to thank you for letting me stay here, let me be a part of this. You guys have been awesome.
You're welcome back anytime, man.
I hope I can. We can talk about this with not only you guys, with the world.
Absolutely.
And get everybody else's input on how great a time this is to be in and enjoy the wrestling product that we're getting with.
I think you summed up for me, Matt. Your final thoughts?
I don't have anything really else to add. Everybody else kind of said it already. Just ready to end the night on a good note. And
I'm gonna drink some more Shandies.
Continue.
It's a weekend for me, boys.
Continue this weekend. Fill the wrestling.
Hell yeah. On that note, we're in it now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to Hitting the Ropes Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back this week. And hit that subscribe, that notification, that follow button, everything under the sun. JR's Barbecue Sauce. We are out. Hey, yo, we're out.
Forget hitting the ropes. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes. On that note, goodbye.